Collingwood to contain during the afternoon.
So Brian Sheehan starts proceedings. The MCG. We are underway in round one on Saturday afternoon footy. McKee's kick chopped off straight away, and now Woods after the McCabe handball. Probing kick, Dixon in good position, couldn't take it. Richardson, and it's over.
Gee, that was a little bit ordinary play there by Ben Dixon. He didn't really have to do anything to Mark Richardson because the ball was going to go out of bounds.
Burns takes the resulting mark as the Pies switching play, coming members side. Lockyer, low kick, yeah, good kick it was. McKee just couldn't handle it, as you saw, but he had the time and the space. Lucuria, recovered, but his kick run down by Lord, and an open goal coming up for the Hawks, and Dixon all on his own, 30 metres out, and that's what happens when there's a turnover like that.
Well, it was a brilliant turnover. In fact, the smother was first class, and you see it here coming through. And that is just an outstanding start to the season from Aaron Lord, who's done everything right in the pre-season, and rather than blazing away, he just sets up Ben Dixon, which should be the first of 40 or 50 goals for him this season. 72 games now. He's coming into what would be considered the prime of his career.
Certainly hasn't been near a hairdresser in a few weeks or months by the look of it. 40 metres out. Great start for Hawthorn. Great start for Ben Dixon with the first goal.
Really is amazing. I mean, it doesn't matter where the football is on the ground. Every one of the 18 players has got to be conscious of what's happening, and this is a great example, Gerard. I mean, Lord looked as if he was out of it, but stayed there, affected the smother, and then the turnover has cost the Collingwood side desperately.
Yeah, it's one that's robbed them of just that little bit of early momentum. Won't have a great impact on the game, one suspects, but there is a bit of hustle and bustle in the middle of the ground, and a free kick is going to be paid for a bit of grabbing that was down in the middle of the goal square. Hawthorn side. Well,
McKee's kick goes forward, and the mark is taken by Rawlings. Handballs to Graham. Graham off the left, kicks it out towards the wing. Good spotting, delivery excellent. Woods is marked on centre wing. Looks to give it off and then decides to kick high towards centre half forward proper. No mark taken. Ball hits the ground. Bowyer flying shot at goal by Bowyer. It's hit the post. A little bit of bad luck for the Hawks. Good fortune for the Maggies because there's only centimetres in that when it hits the woodwork.
Just a couple of early matchups. Nathan Thompson, full forward for the Hawks, being picked up by Shane Wakeland. Rocker at the other end of the ground has Rawlings. Tyson Lane has Graham for the Hawks, and well, we saw Ben Dixon. He's been picked up by the first gamer in young Loney.
So Lockyer kicking in. O'Brien as the Pies travel the outer side. Another low kick, Richardson. Most manned up except in short, so that's where he goes, very short to Wakeland. First kick with the Pies is a good one, and now they've got a little bit of space on the outer side of the ground as they work through the middle. Mark taken there by Steinford in newcomers. Now the Pies deep into attack. Rocker, he got through magnificently. The kick coming from Rintoul, so some of the newcomers combining there with Wakeland, Rintoul and Steinford all involved. And what a terrifically well-judged mark in the end.
Yeah, Jared Malloy just came through the pack there, and it was a sensational grab.
It's got new hair, Malloy. It
looks a bit like Anthony Rockers.
A bit darker, isn't it? Here he comes. A bit scratchy early, some of these teams. Here's the kick from Malloy. He's put it through anyway and gets the answering goal.
Good transition, Robbo. Typical Mick Malthouse style, not players not kicking to a contest, but all importantly, when the long ball came into the forward line, they needed someone to mark it, and Jared Malloy was good enough.
Well, I think that's what they're going to be looking for, isn't it? For Jared Malloy, to make his presence felt. He's got plenty of bulk, plenty of strength, and importantly, he converted by getting the Magpies' first goal. So the bounce of the ball in the centre, Hawthorn lead by a point.
Good
ruck contest. It comes out wide. Bowyer's left foot kick towards centre half forward. In front, the mark not taken. Ball underneath Aaron Lord. Magpies defence under pressure. Tallis trying to do everything right, but it's Burns for the Magpies. Burns kicks directly towards half forward. Good contest provided there by Hay. Joel Smith Back he goes to Hay. He's going to get caught. Malloy just kept on persevering. Tallis dispossessed. Chance now for Freeborn. Little kick by Freeborn is all right. And the mark is taken by Tarrant. Magpies looking for plenty from Chris Tarrant.
Wasn't it great, Robbo, to see a genuine centre bounce back? We had the nonsense of that expanded circle in the Ansett Cup, but we're back to the regulation now. Malloy
blindly back towards the front of the goal's a little risky. Crawford backs himself. Handball in trouble. Chick tackle. Great running there by Crawford to Wren. Wren kicks it high. It's a wobbly old punt kick into the middle of the ground. Contest. Lockyer gathered by Lacuria. Look away handball. Wintool goes directly towards goal. Can the Maggies take a mark here? Yes! Malloy's got it. He took the mark from behind. And a second opportunity for Jared Malloy. He's about 35 metres out, slight angle.
Well, Trent Crow, excellent mark. He held his ground. Trent Crow is his matchup. And look, Crow's going for the big fly. And he should have been just eyes only for the spoil there. Early in the season, your man's already kicked a goal. You've just got to lock him down, and this is a chance now for Jared Malloy to get off to a fly. And when a boom recruit comes into the club and he gets off to a great start, that really does excite the youth of the team.
Fantastic look from behind.
Got to kick
he has disappointed there, Jared Malloy. Probably should have converted from there. He has kicked Collingwood's score of 1-1 and scores a level.
Let's have a look at the human pinball. He just goes bouncing off. He gets one possession, gets it to Woods. He follows up his work. And, well, we run out of time for the flippers to go into action.
Wren the target. Can't take it. Smith just got himself out of trouble there with that little handball. Bowyer maybe got a high one. So the Hawks with Chick looming as the target on the wing, or towards the wing. Oh, Steinford could have given away 50 there. Couple of Hawks, but poor kick. Buckley gets into the game.
Cannot believe his luck.
Yep, to the first time. Beautiful kick. O'Brien clear. Oh, he dropped it. Maybe had it spent before he actually took the mark. He's going to get it free, and he's pretty lucky, really.
I agree with you, but in the game of modern football, gee, there's a lot of free kicks that are probably allowed to let go.
No, it's probably fair on retrospect, but he was falling down, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was around the neck. I thought it was a pretty good decision for the umpire.
Low wasn't a good kick again. In fact, Joel Smith may have, if he had had the confidence, let it go for his teammate, but obviously he was just trying to get the spoil in there, and that was fair enough.
Had a good start already, Joel Smith. A couple of handy possessions. And a spoil there that could have ended up with a shot at goal for Collingwood.
1-1-7, both teams. Early in this first quarter, magnificent conditions, as we've said already. Rocker and Wren to do the ruck work. Rawlings just waiting off behind the pack. Wren, Woods, finally found a path through. McCabe going short now. Rawlings can take it and run. Chick one option, that's where he goes. Good kick too. Chick takes the mark. Good leading players up forward, including Dixon and including Holland. Couldn't take it. Burns on the rebound. Just fumbled it, pushed it on nicely. Lockyer. Oh, he had nowhere to go. Joel Smith patrolling out there. Really Lockyer, I guess he was trying to go for the boundary line. Smith takes it and got himself back into trouble. Chick couldn't pick it up. Dixon, still Chick. Tallis, Buckley, strength, McCabe over the top of him.
Kick.
Advantage paid, Loney not paid. That's going to come back to Nathan Buckley.
Well, Buckley making the ball his prime objective and rewarded with the free kick. Goes for the pass in towards half forward, not too bad. Not able to take the mark was Tarrant. Getting another chance, Bowyer. Just took a little bit of seconds to get rid of the ball. Knocked on by the Hawks, deemed as a throw. The free kick may have been against Jonathan Hay, and it will go to the Magpies to be taken by Tarrant. Tarrant is forward of the wing. Still 2 kicks from goal. He'll lob the ball close to the square. That's the direction he goes in. Player from behind was Lane. Couldn't. He affected the spoil, then got the handball wide. Bounce of the ball important. Anthony Rocker will get the goal. Second goal for the Pies, Anthony Rocker. 2-1 plays 1-1 early in the big clash between the Hawks and the Pies. The McHale and Jack
Kennedy.
Hale, wasn't it? Kennedy.
Jock McHale and
John Kennedy Cup.
Yep. And there it is. It was just a good push out there by one of Anthony Rocker's teammates, and I thought that Tyson Lane did particularly well there to create a contest and get the ball back. There's the push out from O'Brien. Got his Hawk opponent away, and well, Anthony gets his first goal of the year.
It's good effort this from Collingwood after the start made by the Hawks. They've really dominated the last 5 or 6 minutes of play and now lead by a goal.
And taking the ball inside their forward 50 Hutto on 6 occasions. Hawthorn have just gone down there a couple of times, and they've fumbled a lot across their half back line and through the midfield, Hawthorn.
Wren and McKee in the ruck. Well, he was tapping it clear there, Wren, but it was all Collingwood. Steinsford's kick. Tarrant pushed away off the front of the pack. Over the top of it, Lane trying to apply the tackle on Graham, who got it through to McCabe. And now Harford sends it forward. Again, one-on-one contest. Richardson made the spoil on Holland and did it without giving away to Dupree. Follows up his earlier work, but then he was too slow.
Yeah, just a bit confident early in the piece. You've just got to play percentage football pretty early.
And on the overlap, Holland. Again, he went very wide. Barker takes it, though, just inside the line. Did he? Yes, he did.
And he's been the key to this Hawthorn forward line. He gives them that extra marking option. Very difficult to match up on.
Rawlings has pushed down, won't quite get to the contest. Dixon did get to it. Did he control it? No, he didn't, and it's out of bounds.
Well, he did grab it, but it was McKee's brilliant spoil that saved them the goal.
Good effort by McKee, just coming in late there, and you got a good look at the spoil, which has forced this boundary throw in, and then McKee gets the ruck tap out. Buckley bounced in space and then delivered with precision. Freeborn is marked between half back and right centre wing. He kicks the ball and floats it reasonably well, but just out of the reach of Chris Tarrant.
Robbo, what about Chris Tarrant and Jonathan Hay? What a great matchup that is. Two excellent young players, and you know, both high-marking players, but once Hay gets on the run, he can certainly run as well.
No doubt about that, Dipper, and we'll look to that with a lot of interest throughout the day. Wren, Steinfort, still Wren went back in after it. The umpires found a free kick, a little questionable, I would have thought. Steinfort even looked as if I'm bemused. I've got the free kick, what for?
East Scotland picked up Daniel Chick early in the match, but Hawthorn have responded by putting Chick onto Nathan Buckley.
Steinfort's kick lands the ball at the 50-metre line. O'Brien, little kick to his own advantage, but taken over the line by Crawford in the finish, right in front of the smokers stand here at the cricket ground. And a good lot of people in the Ponsford stand here too. There'd be probably 50, in excess of 50,000 people here today.
Well, the Pies were attacking, but Wren changes that 2-on-1 in favour of Collingwood here in the middle of the ground. Lord did well to provide a contest and keep it alive. Mercurio over the top of Lord, and eventually another bounce. 2-1 to 1-1. Goals to Malloy and Rocker for Collingwood. Dixon kicked the first goal of the game for the Hawks.
What about when you back yourself there and you try to duck back and thread a path for yourself through players and you're caught?
Well, look, he was caught, but I would have thought he was taken way too high. I think it was maybe a smart decision from the umpire.
Barker doing the ruck work here against McKee, who's had a couple of decisive taps early. That one, though, Tallis takes it. Lord. Again, it's a good open forward line. Holland charging out. Oh, he spilt that one he should have taken. Gives time, though, for his teammate Thompson to run onto it, but he couldn't do much with it. Still the Pies trying to apply the pressure. Holland getting it back to Barker. Bowyard. Dribbling kick, not great, but it does all right in the end. Crawford, low kick, and able to be chopped off.
Well, peripheral vision not up to scratch there from the captain, because he had Daniel Harford by himself. Another 15 degrees to the right, Robbo.
I think Braden Tallis was yelling out like you wouldn't know, even above the noise of even the crowd, and that's probably impossible. Chance here for Jukovic, gets the handball away. Gathered by McKee, doing pretty well. Tarrant, little kick, not bad. Not quite as accurate as he would have liked, but it finished with O'Brien. O'Brien to the half-forward line area. This is Rintoul. Rintoul's kick is a mongrel punt. Dropped back there by the Hawks. A kick off the ground for a goal. And the goal was kicked by Malloy.
Well, it was the classic FA Cup cross soccer goal, Hutto. Given that you are a major supporter of the World Game.
Well, it was a mongrel of a kick in by Rintoul, wasn't it? But
shocking.
Sometimes they're just difficult to mark.
Well, he ignored Buckley, who could have got it, and then that was a shocker there from the big fellow. Pretty fair goal. A couple of marks now, costing the Hawks dearly.
Well, what a start for Jared Malloy. 2 goals and 1 point. And Collingwood leading by a 2-goal margin. That last one from a couple of mistakes. A poor kick from Rintoul, but I guess an even more costly spill from Sean Wren. He's in again, Wren, trying to get it clear. There's a player down just off the play.
Yeah, Tony Free.
Woods, I think.
Tony
Woods. Tony Woods.
Here's Burns as Collingwood into attack again. The Hawks are trying to push numbers back across half-back. Lane outnumbered that time. Graham taking it. Now they're out of trouble. Barker. Lord's got 4 Collingwood players to beat here, so had to be precise, and he was. Here's Tony Free. Woods goes up towards the half-forward line, looking for Richardson to spoil over the top of Holland, which is what he did successfully. Taken by Crawford. A lot of Hawks across the centre of the ground. Collingwood have got a lot of defenders back in that last line, so he had to hold up play and go short. We'll see a lot of this during the year. Don't worry about that. As they just have to chip it around. Sean Wren wasn't his own at centre-half forward, but eventually right down forward, it's Graham who's raced all the way down forward to help out. He's just squeezed himself up against the boundary line, went for Holland. He had to be very accurate with the kick, and he was.
Well, it seems part of winning games at the moment is that you have to work out how you're going to take the ball from outside the 50 into a scoring position, Robbo. Do you long bomb it, or do you try and just find a man spare short?
Holland off the left boot.
Pretty fair kick from Nicholas.
That's the way to get him. So the Hawks' second goal, and we're back to a 1-goal ball game at the MCG.
Well, I don't think there'd be too many would have backed him in on that one, Robbo, given that...
I think that was a difficult shot.
His kicking hasn't been one of his great natural traits, but fantastic over the last couple of years. He has improved. And Nicholas Holland has got his first goal. They probably needed it, Robbo, after dropping that mark early in the match.
No doubt, and it was a pretty handy reply because Malloy may be a little fortunate to get Collingwood's 3rd goal, but a great shot by Nick Holland for the Hawks' 2nd. Up high was McKee, but beaten for it by Thompson. Kick forward for the Magpies. Mark taken there by Jonathan Hay. Dipper has already referred to the potential clash between these 2 great youngsters in Hay and Tarrant. And they will be important, the result of that contest. That was a good knockaway by Bowyer on Buckley. Forces a boundary throw in. A goal of margin in favour of Collingwood. Reece Shaw just warming up on the boundary. It looks like it might be Johnson there with him.
Fraser on and McKee coming off.
Rocker doing the ruck work with Thompson. Freeborn and Harford. Daniel Harford knocks it forward. Gathered by Rocker. Rocker's kick smothered off the boot. O'Brien dispossessed. Chance for Tallis. Good pressure provided by Lockyer. The spillage gathered by O'Brien. And then his kick may have gone out on ball. Little unfortunate there, because I'm sure he was looking to weight the kick to the advantage of his teammate. Didn't quite work.
Glenn Freeborn doing a good job at the moment on Daniel Harford. He's kept him pretty quiet. He's only had a couple of possessions. Harford needs to just work his way into the game.
That's the sort of potential that Nathan Thompson's got. Pull down big marks like that. Up to 50 again, the Pies with the numbers. Fraser just on the ground. Gave a little gentle shove out, but it's all okay. He's switching play with a very bold, long kick, and it comes off. Rintoul taking the mark. Lucuria providing the run, and now through the middle of the ground, they can really go. Jukovic, he had to be precise again with the kick, wobbling down towards Tarrant. Gets his man. Tarrant just having to wait. Gee, somehow he eluded the tackler. Then he kicked quickly, and he had a couple of shorter options. Instead, it's Joel Smith and Daniel Chick across half-back who double-team Buckley.
We saw, Robbo, Chris Tarrant, he takes a long time to wind up for his kick. It was nearly smothered there, and in the opening goal for Hawthorn, it came as a result of a smother of his wind-up.
Well done by Loney. I agree, Jared. The players further forward are moving one way or the other, and Chris Tarrant probably confusing them in the finish. Oh, top effort. Malloy had to make 5 metres in the last split second to get to that, and he took the mark close to ground level and then kicked it forward for Lane. Hawks make a change.
I must say, just watching Malloy there, it was a little strange. Lane made the lead very early. He waited till he was almost at the 50 before he passed to him.
McFarlane on, who was a star in one of their Ansett Cup games.
I think he took John Barker's place, but at the other end of the ground, we're watching Tyson Lane who was instrumental in a forward passage of play that I think resulted in a goal for the Magpies earlier in the quarter. On this occasion, off to the right. Scores are behind. 3-2 plays 2-1, 7 points the margin in favour of Collingwood.
If McKee can stand up as a ruckman for Collingwood, it's going to help Josh Fraser enormously, isn't it?
No doubt.
Workload off it.
No doubt. And just a youngster, Josh Fraser. What, 20-odd games under his belt.
We saw Joel Smith with the kicking in duties quite a bit during the Ansett Cup. Rocker made the spoil and made it well to get it back inside the 50. Rintoul, who's done some nice things so far. Again, it's 3-on-1. Malloy's taking on all comers today. He's just charging through, and probably as a result of that pressure that he's applying, Crow deciding to concede the behind.
Interesting there, Robbo. Collingwood had 3 extras around the fall of the ball at the 50. They kicked it long, and Hawthorn had 3 extras in the goal square.
Well, the peculiarities of modern football, I
But you're not going to get the ball out of your 50 unless you get some support up there.
Well, too true. I guess they reckon that if they've got the numbers back there, they can just take it around that far side if they can take possession of the ball, the Hawks. Collingwood again trying to knock it forward to the 50-metre line. A real contest about 60 metres from the Collingwood goal. And the umpire has decided on a bounce. We have Martin Ellis, Brian Sheehan and Mark Nash. Hasn't Brian Sheehan been just a tremendously durable person as an umpire? He's been around for so many years now, and obviously doing the right thing, hanging around to give tutorage to the youngsters coming up in the umpiring ranks. Anthony Rocker doing the ruck work, gathered by Lane, got it back to Tarrant. Tarrant, not a badly weighted kick, just not able to get there was Freeborn. Lord, Chick, Buckley, still Freeborn, kick forward there by O'Brien. Contest right in front of the Collingwood goal. Strong play by Crode. He's been awarded a free kick, one would think, a little high maybe. The ferocity of the Magpie forward, just a little overzealous there. And Trent Crode will take the free kick for Hawthorn.
She's a bit lucky.
It's a good struggle developing here, isn't it? I mean, they look pretty even, these teams. I know it's only the first quarter. Thompson.
Wren's gone to the half-forward line and Thompson into the ruck.
Rawlings still inside defensive 50, and Pies have manned up very well at the moment. Forced to go to a one-on-one contest. Wakeland fell down, and I think he grabbed Sean Wren as he slipped. Wakeland saying, "You're kidding," but Nickett was there. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe it was Wren that was the faller. I'm not sure.
But how does an umpire really determine which player is interfering with which?
Well,
it's just guesswork.
That is tough, but I thought he got it pretty right there. Shane Wakeland was the first one to make body contact with Sean Wren. Unfortunately for Wakeland, he slipped at the same time, which made it look a little bit worse.
So Wren now called on.
Too good.
Lovely sidestep. Bowyer has to fly here. Good spoil from Loney, who's done some nice things. He backed up there with Lucuria, but Tallis,
Got a short.
he waited and waited, and he might go for home in the end. No, he went across. Plenty of Collingwood players there to spoil. McFarlane was in amongst it, but taken away Lucuria. Now the Pies can run. Handball, Lockyer Richardson through the middle of the ground. Down the field it'll be, or it was a mark anyway to Jukovic.
It's just a poor option by Ray.
Gone the other way now. Someone dumped behind play. Lockyer on Crawford, is it?
I think that was some acting. Shane, I think, was interested in some acting over the summer.
Really poor option from Tallis, kicking it so wide that all the Collingwood players could amass there. And if there's a turnover, everybody from Hawthorn was out of position, as we saw, and only a silly free kick has robbed them of the chance of a shot at goal.
Well, it could prove very, very costly. So many players have pushed down the ground now, though, so the Hawks are going to find it, again, as we've said, hard to penetrate into their forward line.
Well, Nick Holland's their best mark. You'd expect he, in this position, to be sitting in the goal square. Instead, he's up on the 50.
He goes wide. Good presentation.
Great mark, too.
Nathan Thompson, this is... Well, we saw him 2 seasons ago, just looked like he could be absolutely anything, and he was struggling with injuries somewhat last year.
He's more finely cut this season. He's lost some weight, and he looks a true athlete.
I mean,
The defenders... Sorry, Dip, go.
I was going to say, Anthony Rocker should be on the mark here. I mean, they've got O'Brien on the mark there, and Anthony Rocker's saying a few words to him. He should be on the mark.
Yeah, fair point, because a taller man can put his arms higher in the air, obviously, and it's amazing how mentally that can affect the play with the ball.
New number this season also, Hutto, for Thompson.
The famous number at Hawthorn, worn by Don Scott, and of course Dermot Brerick. And Dermot kicked plenty from there. the Hawks within 2.
What are you saying? Scotty never got one? Robbo?
Well, I don't think... Scotty wouldn't mind us saying that I don't think he was renowned for his goal-kicking ability, but a big heart. And I think if the Hawks can get anywhere near that big-hearted performance from the player wearing the number 23 Guernsey there, Nathan Thompson, over the next, 5 to 10 years, they'll be very, very happy, as with Dermot Brereton, of course. Well, just 2 points now in favour of the Magpies. You can see there just 2.5 minutes left in the term. It has been quite an entertaining opening. Rintoul gets the ball back to Buckley. Isn't he a wonderful mover, Nathan Buckley? Just always looks balanced, and then kicks with precision onto the chest of Tarrant. Tarrant can go short. Rocker provided the lead. Tarrant ignored that. McKee, Fraser it is, looming towards the centre-half forward area. Big flyer was Malloy, couldn't take the mark. Freeborn to Fraser. That's a great goal, isn't it? That is a tremendous goal by the youngster.
Well, they just waited for the early pace to go out of the game, and they brought Fraser on in replace of McKee, and a pretty fair dividend early in the piece.
Well, you've got to have a certain amount of natural talent to be able to, under pressure...
He's got plenty of that.
Oh, that's a terrific goal.
He just adjusted the angle in his head, didn't he, as he was falling towards the ground. Brilliant.
So from that kick, he goes straight into the ruck with just a couple of minutes to play.
Yeah, under 2 minutes now. 4-3 to 3-1. Wren against Fraser in the ruck. And, well, it was almost a neutral one in the middle. Clever tap from Dixon. They opened it up for Harford. They get it quickly in towards Lord. Free kick against Lord for holding on. Mercuria taking it. Going very wide for Lockyer. Looking further afield, Fraser is led towards the wing. Other than that, he had nothing really on, so he goes for Fraser. Good kick, well placed. Collingwood with the time to try and build one more attack, although excellent smother from Wren. Lockyer backing up and gets Buckley. So now Collingwood on the overlap is Mercuria, who's run down from defence. 75 from goal. He's got Malloy back in the square. Tarrant's back there as well.
Had a good start to the season, Tarkin Lockyer, Hutto. Same as last year, he's on fire, dragging that ball from defence.
Wakeland's run down there as well, and Rintoul is a loose player, so plenty. Rocker just outmarked at the end by Rawlings.
Big statement, but Tarkin Lockyer pinpoints a player further down the field with his kicking better than Nathan.
Oh, gee, almost kicked a defensive goal there. McCabe managing to retrieve the situation. Crowed.
We'll analyse that at quarter time, Robbo.
Bowyer. So, inside the last minute of this first quarter, Glenn Bowyer with the footy. The Hawks trailing by 8 points. Tony Woods.
Been a great stalwart for the Hawks. Recruited from Czechoslovakia.
While he was on an overseas trip during the summer.
Well, he'd given it away, and he was given it away from Collingwood, and he went over to Czechoslovakia, and in fact, it was Collingwood he was recruited to from Czechoslovakia after leaving, I think it was Fitzroy.
Fitzroy. Bowyer's kick into the middle of the ground, taken by Burns. Here's Wakeland off the left. Still might be time for the Pies. Was that holding on?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Well, it wasn't, according to the umpire. Lord takes it away. The Hawks about to go into attack. It could have been a costly one for Collingwood. But at quarter time, the Pies leading 4-3-27 to 3-1-19. 2 goals to Malloy, singles to Rocker and Fraser for the Hawks. Holland, Dixon and Thompson. Nathan Buckley argues the point, but the Pies lead 27-19 at quarter time. Cruz and Essendon may have been one-sided, but this is a terrific contest. Collingwood and Hawthorn at quarter time, 4-3-27 to 3-1-19.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
And there was plenty happening as soon as the siren went, Jared, with Mick Malthouse not allowed to go over to the umpires himself, but within earshot, he sent Nathan Buckley across the right.
And justifiably, I reckon, Hutto, early in the season, you just don't want to have umpires becoming absolutely different to the way they umpired in the Ansett Cup. They said that this incident, as we see here, the grabbing of the jumper was going to be penalised and harshly treated. Well, there is one that would cost them a shot at goal, which would have given them a very handy lead at quarter time had it gone through. So not surprising that Mick Malthouse incensed.
And what about the match itself?
Well, look, it's a terrific start. I think a lot of people that were just being the doomsayers, I think, for Collingwood will be a bit surprised. Glenn Freeborn changing jumpers. He's done a great job on Daniel Harford. The Pies are looking dangerous up forward, Robbo. They've got 3 marking options up there, and Jared Malloy looks in as good a form as I've ever seen him. He's cut. He looks extremely fit, and he's ready to prove a point, I think.
Well, I guess the guys have had terrific preparation for this season. Longer break than normal. Much of that has been publicised, but they would be just chafing at the bit to get out there and start. It's been a fairly... There was a little bit of a lull in the middle of the quarter where players just couldn't find teammates on their own and they were hanging on to the ball a little bit. But generally speaking, a pretty good contest, as Hutto has mentioned. And Collingwood justifiably 8 points in front at quarter time. Buckley, doesn't he look cherry ripe, Nathan Buckley?
Yeah, he's presented himself ready to go, and Harford starting outside of the centre square. Looks like he's pushed forward to a half-forward flank. He's being picked up by Scott Burns.
And looks like Tim Clark, boys, playing his first game for the Hawks on the wing down here.
Oh yes, we see him, Dipper, down here just quite near the AFL CUB logo, and he'll be eager to show up in the early part of this second term.
Which is underway. Steinfort, Buckley let it go. Well, he got the handball away in the end. O'Brien pinpoint the man out on the wing. And it's Freeborn. Jared's mentioned him a number of times. He's looking good. He could unload a long one with Tyson Lane one-on-one down there in the goal square. Some late help from Rocker, who came from the side, didn't mark it. Buckley, quick kick, out of behind.
I read with interest and listen on Talkback Radio a lot of times, Robbo, that people still suggest that Nathan Buckley doesn't win the loose ball. I reckon he's of his seven possessions this afternoon, he would have won the ball at the bottom of a pack on 4 occasions.
Oh, I think you're being very critical, aren't you, if you just aim that at Nathan Buckley, because he gets a lot of the ball, he gets a lot of it in tough conditions. Kick in, and it's been taken by McCabe. He's in the right back pocket. Brilliant sunshine. Beautiful blue sky here in Melbourne this afternoon. This is Daniel Chick, Freeborn, ever zealously minding the mark. You can see in the foreground there Glenn Freeborn watching, and the ball is such a it's so important that every player concentrates so hard, because the ball can go from one end of the ground to the other if they lose concentration, a la this example here. The Hawks under pressure at half-back. Pies just working and trying to make it difficult for the Hawks to break away. As the Crow tackle, he was pinned. Lockyer quickly onto his boot. Magpies will mark this inside the forward 50. It's Tarrant. So Chris Tarrant, who was a little unfortunate in that he did not receive a free kick right at the end of the first term, has the chance to post the first score, the second score. Nathan Buckley has already kicked a point for Collingwood. Maybe the first goal of the second term here from Chris Tarrant. Long kick to the goal line. And was that a mark? It may have been paid. It looks like it could be a Hawthorn mark to Joel Smith right on that last line of defence for the Hawks. He runs away from that area and then kicks it out wide. 2-on-1 favouring the Pies. Big punch from Fraser. Not really a good selection there from Joel Smith. He was forced to kick it to that 2-on-1. Freeborn was the other Collingwood player in support of Fraser, and Bowyer having to give away plenty of centimetres to Josh Fraser. Boundary throw in. Big punch by Wren. Knocks it to the players' interchange area right down in front of the commentary box. Centre wing, MCG, boundary throw in.
And I'll give you interchanges quickly. McFarlane, Woods, Rock and Leckers for the Hawks. McKee, Shaw, Johnson, Scotland for the Maggies.
Gee, that was a sensational punch on, wasn't it, from Wren? O'Brien.
Oh.
Penalised.
Oh. You'd like the umpire to jump in there and try and get rid of the ball, wouldn't you?
Unbelievable.
Bowyer with the resulting free on the wing. 4-4, plays 3-1. Fraser will come from the side to spoil.
It is beyond belief that he paid a penalty there.
Johnson taking it away, and it does open up here for Malloy, who's got about 10 metres on Crode. He's got Tarrant leading into the pocket, and that's where he goes. Good work from Hay, harassed him without giving away the free. Gets the handball away, releasing McCabe. So the Hawks to get out of trouble here. Tallis. Crawford pushing towards the wing. Braden Tallis with the ball on half-back. Smith coming into the space, still at half-back. Good low kick to Sean Wren. He had a runner, it was Rawlings. And a pretty open forward line and a good pass out in front of Thompson, just couldn't hang on to it. Wren is doing a lot of hard work, he's well trapped there, now he's penalised. Advantage, Waitler takes it. Look at Collingwood, he can run all through to centre half forward if he gets well shepherded for. Instead the handball, O'Brien just had to put some short steps in to get the space. Freeborn, he found trouble. Buckley, 70 out, winds up, it's an open square. And he misses away to the left.
It was almost as if they were looking for Bucks because there was nobody in the goal square, nobody in the forward 30 metres of the Collingwood forward line, so they had to find somebody who could kick the balls to the 60 metres. They found him, but he wasn't accurate.
Tallis to bring the ball back into play for Hawthorn. Goes pretty well straight down the ground. He finds Harford, away to Joel Smith. Very talented, Joel Smith. Just a deft little left foot pass. And now the Hawks to come clear. Hay, Wren, Joel Smith providing the running support. He'll have a shot at goal, won't he? He'll get back onto his right. He'll kick a goal, Joel Smith. Joel Smith has missed just off the
Collingwood player down here.
Player flat and dip. Did you see that? There's a dust up further down, so you'd rather suspect that the Hawthorn player is being dealt with over there a little further away towards left half forward. May be the culprit as far as this Collingwood player, which is Paul Mercuria, is concerned.
Play's gone on in the meantime. Mercuria, remember, caught the shocker in the Ansett Cup, and he's only just come back from that. Here's O'Brien. In the meantime, driving it up to Tarrant, who's been pretty busy in the last 10 or so minutes of play. Again, he's fairly slow to get rid of the ball. More this time to do with the fact that the Hawks have pushed numbers back and manned up. Now he's got to unwind and really drive it long. Lots of Hawthorn players there against Johnson, and the only one to really get there, Tallis and Crawford, as they switch play. And here's Tim Clark for his first possession of AFL footy. He does it well. The mark and the kick was spot on. Bowyer through the middle of the ground. Well placed, and that's a good mark from Dixon. And he can go back and shoot from 50. Clark providing another lead into the pocket, just to show his running ability. Peter Swab said last week, in terms of running, he is the best player.
The umpires are reporting someone here. Hello, looks like Aaron Lord.
Well, Dixon's in the meantime to have a shot from just outside 50. Steered it accurately and with distance. An important goal for the Hawks, his second.
Well, it was an important goal for Hawthorn. They were just in danger of losing contact with the Magpies, and this has been a fair transition forward in the men's and very close to an incident that I'm sure we're going to be talking about a fair bit during the week. But the kicking style is very much like a Malcolm Blighty. It's very high ball lift, but an accurate one nevertheless.
Well, two players that the Hawks will be looking for huge efforts this year, I'm sure, if they're to succeed in their quest for the flag later on. Ben Dixon has kicked a couple of goals, and Nathan Thompson, who has kicked one. 4-2 Hawthorn, trailing Collingwood 4-5. Excellent bounce. Wren gets the ball back. Overrunning it was Crawford, gathered by Fraser. Steinfort, then Prestigiacomo kicks it forward towards the full forward area. Umpires found a free kick. It's to Collingwood. Advantage is paid, and the goal will be kicked by Jukovic.
And that's why you go and see the umpire at quarter time, because it puts it in his mind that he's under notice. It was the same umpire. They don't want to make 2 or 3 mistakes, and often you may get even an overreaction, which this one may border on. Let's have a look at it.
Is it a jumper pulling against Crode, was it? On Malloy. Malloy appealing. Was paid the free kick. Advantage paid, and Jukovic the goal kicker. So very quickly, the Magpies get their 5th on the scoreboard. They lead by 9 points, 5-5 to 4-2, early part of the second term. And the Rucks go at it once again. Wren doing pretty well, but the Magpies succeeding in getting the ball clear of the centre bounce area. Umpire Brian Shinji. That was to the advantage of Collingwood there, and I thought he could have nearly called play on, but he's decided to bring the ball back to Lockyer.
And once again, the Hawks quick to push numbers back into defence, making it a really crowded forward line. And in the end, Tarrant actually pushed out on that occasion. Graham taking the mark anyway. And now the Hawks will charge forward through Crow. They'll find it's very open up there. Long kick in front of the space, and Thompson leading into it beautifully. Takes the mark, 65 from goal. Quick to move it on. He's off now into the square. Barker got rid of his opponent. It's bouncing, going to get boot to ball. Johnny flicked it back beautifully. Young Tim Clark kept his head and kicked it beautifully to Hawthorn. Well done.
Well, he kept his head. That's the critical element there. Shows he's pretty cool. Hutto could have tried to sling it around on the left foot, but Trent Crowdy looks a better player at centre half-back, running through the lines, Robbo, than he
Peter
does
Knight.
locked in at full-back, and they've done it pretty well so far.
You know, this
Right
young fellow who gets the ball here, Jared, he's covered 150 metres. He got the ball, or chased the ball from the defensive 50 to kick the ball back to this player who should kick a goal in Daniel Harford.
And the answering goal comes from Harford. So again, it's just 3 points the difference at the MCG. Terrific contest, and we've been going 10 minutes in this second quarter, and it's 5-5 to 5-2.
Well, Robbo, you mentioned the running power of young Clark. He was an exceptional athlete, Hutto, wasn't he, before he turned his mind to the
both,
great
I think,
game?
with skiing and with
I think he still
running.
is, isn't he? Yes. Very good athlete.
And good on the slopes as well, Robbo.
Well, Daniel Harford, the goal kicker, brings Hawthorn once again in the last 3 or 4 minutes back to within 3 points. Hunting in numbers, McCabe under pressure, whacked forward by Lockyer. And whack would probably be a reasonable description there. O'Brien, who's been pretty good. A little kick in front there of Mark Graham and Tyson Lane. Graham forcing the ball over for a throw-in. Collingwood by 3 points.
Yeah, but just having a look at the Collingwood forward line, they just can't find a marking player. They've taken 1 mark to Hawthorn's 8 in their back 50.
Good gather by Crawford. McCabe in the finish, not bad. I don't quite know whether Dipper heard you then, Gerard.
Yes, Gerard, I heard you there. Yeah, interesting comment there. I mean, the way the Crows just ran through that ball, there was the first run of confidence, but it's amazing how Collingwood have been in front all day.
Now, how does the heat affect these boys? We did see the ice vests coming into play at quarter time. We'll talk about that in a second, because Joel Smith, who's a real colonel, lieutenant general on that full back line for Hawthorn, he got the ball clear. Wasn't that a great tackle by Rintoul? Has he been rewarded? Yes.
That's great footy, isn't it?
Oh, Dipper, that was terrific stuff.
Great footy, great
His
tackle,
eye on
great
the
run.
waist of the player coming down the ground and effected a magnificent tackle. Rintoul kicks the ball to half forward, and up goes Sean Wren. Probably former teammates at some stage, would they have been, Rintoul and Wren with the Crows. The kick forward now, Prestigiacomo, awkward bounce, Fraser. Not this time, Josh. Handball that came from Scotland.
Kick.
In trouble was the player Bowyer, taken down by Burns. Chick. Now Barker, have a shot for goal, Johnny. No, he doesn't. Unselfishly onto the chest of his teammate in Dixon, who couldn't take the mark. Umpire gives the all clear to throw it in, and the Hawks fans a little disappointed.
Gee, big job. Sorry, Dipper, big job there for Ryan Loney, who made that spoil in his first game on Dixon, who's kicked 2 goals. Holland trying to claim it. Prestigiacomo, handball, throw. Free kick to Hawthorn. Goal chance coming out. 50 and 50, so it will be a goal, and the Hawks will be in front. Well, some umpiring decisions making an impact on this game.
The 50 metres, I think, was against Mark Richardson, because he hand passed it to, instead of the Hawthorn player who received the free kick, to one of his teammates, and the umpire right onto it.
Well, Holland comes in and rams it into the top deck of the Podsford stand. The Hawks are in front.
Yes, and a very handy goal to Nick Holland, that one.
This game in danger of boiling over a little bit with the tempers, Jared.
Well, that's just cost them a goal. Lack of control cost the Magpies a goal there, or at least they turned out what was a possible goal into a certainty. And And the umpires will probably play a free kick here, and the trainers have got absolutely no right to get in there and put hands on body. They will end up being involved in the melee as well.
Lovely bloke, Peter Schwab, but by gee, he's got his hook really reared up for this, Gerard.
He certainly has. Pretty crucial this last 5 minutes. Both sides have gone toe-to-toe. There's been a couple of scuffles, something untoward we also believe, but at this stage Hawthorn have benefited greatly from it.
Well, a quick centre clearance, and the ball is finished with Nick Holland.
Well, he was given a goal just a minute ago by the umpires and by Collingwood in many respects. It's now up to him to convert one.
The player on the mark is probably just outside 40 metres, maybe about 43 metres. He'll have to kick the ball about 50 to score. He gets under it, he kicks it accurately, it's a goal. Hawks have got another one. Ominous signs for the Magpies. Nick Holland handed a goal earlier, has marked and kicked his third, and the Hawks lead 7-2 to 5-5.
Well, they've just got control of the game, the Hawks, across their back line. I think Joel Smith's had an outstanding quarter, and here's the early business that resolved. There's the throw and a fair decision, and Mark Richardson has got himself involved. We believe that was the reason he got the 50-metre penalty.
I think just as disappointingly, though, Gerard, he wasn't on Nick. After that, the centre bounce, he wasn't close to Nick Holland. The ball came out, Holland was on his own. Restarting with 7-2 to 5-5, and Collingwood need to answer. They've got the ball forward. Well trapped by Jukovic. Terrific play. Kicked it, though, to a tough one for Tarrant. Way over the head. Look at the pace of O'Brien to almost get there. The ball turning and turning. Goes through for a behind.
Good effort by McCabe. He came from behind O'Brien, and it was pretty well a dead heat when they got to the footy, forcing a rush behind to the Magpies.
For those that like the stats, Hawthorn have gone inside their forward 50 just 5 times this quarter and kicked 3 goals, 1. Collingwood's gone inside 10 times and kicked 1 goal, 3.
Yeah, we've got Red on the bench also, and Thompson in the ruck there.
Crow takes it from Graham as the Hawks still inside their defensive 50, looking for a way out. None apparent at the moment, so the long bomb to the wing. McFarlane on the ground trying to come from behind Wakeland, made the spoil okay, but Rocker using Lacuria, could have been a crucial fumble, but he had time to run around. Now he's on his preferred side. Well guided kick. O'Brien got Lockyer inboard, he'll just get it with 3 Hawks bearing down. Again, though, he's got this.
Got to go deep to Malloy. He's 1 out. He's still in the job.
Yeah, he was 1 out, and he still virtually is. Buckley's down there as well, and he's going short now. All the Hawks have pushed numbers back. So they're just propping across centre half forward, across the 50. Lane, they've worked it through him. Well, didn't work it inside 50 in the end. McKay makes the steal away from Steinfort, and he's got the looping man running on in Mark Graham. Look from the wing. Look at McFarlane. He is all on his own. If he can just get the ball, he can turn and run. And he does stretch out. He's gone. He is gone. Holding the ball. And that should be 50. It should be 50.
It's just an incredible judgment there. Excitement for the young bloke, I suppose. And he just took 2 or 3 extra steps trying to get onto his preferred.
Mark
Richardson. Excellent.
You just give him 10 out of 10, don't you? Because in that circumstance there, a half a metre was so important. He made it up and affected the tackle.
Shortest 50 metres I've ever seen, I reckon. Richardson still on the defensive side, kicks beautifully to Malloy. Now he's 60 out. Buckley's down there with 2 players, Thompson and Crow, standing in front of him.
McKee?
Well, McKee has to be the marking option. There wasn't really one. Thompson was the man, and he got it away to Joel Smith. And what an improved performer he's going to be this year. Rawlings with a sort of a handball.
That was a handball.
Lord, and well done by Joel Smith, who kept on running. His kick is all right. Not quite all right enough, though, for John Barker to take the mark.
Right over on the forward end of the 50-metre square, going to the 50-metre line, I think, is Mark Graham.
Chicky's taking himself off at the moment, and Lecker, so I'll keep an eye on that.
Mark Graham just left lamenting. I'm sure he thought that the Hawks would keep possession of the ball and he was going to be a target. John Barker giving away a free kick here. McKee, the recipient, gets the hand pass away to Lockyer. Lockyer short, taken here by Steinfort. Goes in turn to Lacuria. Wider Richardson. Malloy provides the lead. He ignores that and goes further. Looking for Tarrant, but Malloy's there to gather the crumbs. Jonathan Hay affects the tackle. Handball by Wakeland, wide. Tarrant, now Loney. Little kick by Loney into the pocket. No mark taken there by Rocker. The ball spills to the back for a throw-in.
Joel Smith, 8 kicks and 3 marks this quarter. 4 rebounds from the forward 50. And in fact had a shot at the goals, which could have given him his first for the season. He's had a big quarter.
Free kick picked out, and it might be 50 against Jugovic, but he kicked it away. The umpire, though, not playing the 50.
A little bit of trivia here. Ryan Loney, his twin brother, plays for the Hawks. Nathan, and the father, Ken, used to call one red and the other blue to tell them apart. I've got an idea. I might know Ken Loney from the McKinnon Cricket Club.
50 now, is there, boys?
Yeah, there's 50. Brian Sheehan.
I think a bit verbal, that one, a verbal 50.
Well, no, I think it was the kick away, Dipper. I think Brian Sheehan overruled the umpire from further away.
That's 100 metres, I reckon.
Well, that is a massively longer 50 than the one at the other end.
Late mark.
Steinford couldn't spoil it. Crawford takes the mark. He's 60 from goal. If he really got onto it, he could score. He gives himself a full run up. He's backed himself, the captain here, and he has succeeded. Inspirational lifting goal from Shane Crawford. And the Hawks have got a very handy break now in a really tight arm wrestle. They've emerged in front and lead by 14.
Just his second quick kick for the quarter. Say that 5 times and get away with it. Second quick kick for the quarter. And an important one at that, Hutto.
It was a good kick. What appealed to me was the mark. I thought the mark was a really strong mark. And then to go back as the skipper and convert from about 50, great. So Hawks get a little bit of a break. We watch Michael Malthouse in the coach's box. Hawks 50, lead Collingwood 36. The Magpies seem to be in control. There was a bit of a ruckus and the Hawks have fought back hard. This is Johnson for Collingwood, coming off the bench. Kicks towards the full forward area. Found a free kick as the umpire holding. It's going to Collingwood to Anthony Rocker, and he should easily kick the distance. We know the prodigious distances that Anthony Rocker kicks this football. The player on the mark is only about less than 40 metres. He's appealing to the umpire to have a look at the big screen.
What do you think,
might be Jade Rawlings.
Well, look, that's the way they said they were going to umpire this season. What annoys you, Hutto, is that every year somebody in charge of the umpires takes it upon himself to reinterpret the rules. I mean, that is not the role of the umpires director. Don't change the game because you've got the role as coach of the umpires. You're there to make them ball it up straight and get into position to pay free kicks.
Well, it's I think, a fair result, Jared, based on what you just said there.
You can't outlaw that sort of body contact because it's just totally unnatural. You've got 2 blokes running flat stick at the ball. It goes a little bit higher, so you've got to throw the brakes on. Somebody backs up a little bit slower than the other person, their bodies are going to come together.
It's indicating us for grabbing onto the arm.
Onto the arm.
That happens in nearly every contest up
well, every ruck contest, somebody grabs onto an arm.
McKee from behind made a good spoil. Steinford, second time, was successfully, took 1 step too many, was dragged down as he kicked the Rocker. But that's a good, strong mark. Rawlings. And the man releasing is Harford. Collingwood, though, have managed to push numbers back along this side, so they're going to have to hold it up, try and work it, which is well done by Woods and Harford. And eventually the man presented himself, and it was Clark off and running. Look at Joel Smith covering the territory, broke the tackle with ease. Now he's going to have to watch out. Unloading Dixon one-on-one with Loney. Got some support at the last minute from Presta Giacomo. Parker tried to go off the ground. Burns backed himself, backed his judgment, and kicked it out of bounds.
If you were Collingwood, though, and you were playing defence or midfield, you'd be pretty frustrated because they've done everything right. They're, in fact, probably on top, except they just can't get a goal. Their forward line has been well held this quarter, and they're getting robbed of all their good work. Credit, though, must go to the Hawks and the structure they're playing. Certainly make it difficult for Collingwood. They're getting out of defence, but it's after this that they're getting into trouble. Malloy. Now, where will he go? Short. He does into the middle. Wakeland's pushed down through the centre. By hand, trouble, back to Malloy. Couple of Hawks bearing down, he guided it. He guided it poorly. Tarrant looked like he gave up for a minute because the kick was so bad. And I think in the end they'd be happy that the ball went out of bounds.
Well, the Hawks have certainly used their bench today. At the moment we've got Chick, Thompson, Tallis and Lord, just some of their runners on the bench. and Brent back on the ground in the ruck.
A lot of arm waving going on down there by the Collingwood forwards too, saying we'll kick it properly to us.
Pretty warm dipper down there.
Yeah, spot on, Robbo.
So the players, they'll be sapped by the end of this game. It'll be maybe the fitter side. There's a little bit of good fortune for the Hawks. This bloke is playing a blinder, Joel Smith, and I'm absolutely wrapped. He suffered a terrible knee injury, and he was dispensed with by the St Kilda Football Club, and he's recovered and doing very, very nicely, thank you.
The way he uses the ball out of the back line, Robbo, very good on both sides.
It is Dipper, isn't it? He looks and he does try to help the teammates further down the ground. Now, Loney off the right finds the safety of the boundary line outside the defensive 50 for the Magpies. 5-7 Collingwood, 8 goals to the Hawks. Margin 13 points in favour of Hawthorn, and we're close to the long break in this match between the Hawks and the Pies.
Running power of the Pies, Robbo, may not become important though right until the death knock, the last quarter, if they can just hold on.
Fair point. Rintoul kicks it towards half forward. Good numbers back there for the Hawks. Kicked away, gathered by Buckley. Oh, that was a great smother, wasn't it? Terrific smother. Now Leckers handballs it to Clark. He's had a number of possessions in this term, which would indicate that he's got a future. Back it goes to Lockyer. Watch the kicking ability of Lockyer. Sets it up. Oh, terrific effort there, back there by Rawlings. But it's taken by Jukovic. Can he get another goal in this term? Jukovic, snapshot and goal! Has just gone off to the left and scores a behind. 1-1 to Andrew Jukovic.
And have a look at this for a couple of turnovers. Buckley just trying to chip the ball over, which is the right thing. The execution, though, just lacked a bit. And there's another steal.
Leckers.
Angelo Leckers has done the pickpocket trick.
5 possessions to young Clark in this term.
Yeah. It's just what Hawthorn need. They do lack a little bit of running power, and if he can come on and add that.
Oh, terrific grab by Malloy. There was a bit of work going on off the ball there too. But Malloy taking the grab and going very, very short to O'Brien. And he spotted someone who'd pushed to the outer side. McKee, oh, maybe the sun got in the eyes then. Certainly he's got his teammate into trouble, holding the ball. And he might want to be careful here, Tyson Lane, or he'll give away the 50.
Got a big quarter, Rawlings.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Hawks lead by 2 goals. And now, from the wing, Graham gets a good-looking kick out in front of Lord. Hawks really, when they've been very efficient when they've gone forward, because Collingwood have really dominated in terms of general play, but they lead on the scoreboard, the Hawks. Dixon overrunning it, was just going too fast for his own good on that occasion. And now they're out of trouble. Lockyer's kick onto the wing. Malloy, who's pushed a long way up the ground as they've come up the ground to try and get the ball into attack. Lucuria over to Jukovic. What can they do this time? Again, the Hawks, one-on-one down there, manning up pretty well. Hey, Rocker was over the top. In fact, it was Tarrant over the top. No free kick paid against him. Well done by Leckers. Waited, the handball just missed the target slightly, but Crode had the time to recover, covering the ground so well. Handball really did put Lord under a fair bit of pressure. Now Crode tries to push off his goal. Holding the ball, surely, yes it is. And it could be 50. It could be 50, it is. It is 50. It was kicked away indiscriminately by the Hawks. Silly play.
What was the difference there, Hutto, between this kick away and the one that Collingwood got at the other end 5 minutes ago? You wonder why players get frustrated.
Well, it is 50, isn't it?
It is, yes, but there wasn't 55 minutes ago.
They did pay the 50.
Oh, the overrule.
Did the overrule, yep. So this is a crucial 50 as we get close to half-time.
I think you'll buy your real estate from Brian Sheehan in preference to the other 2 umpires officiating today.
Yes.
She was an important 50, wasn't it?
Very much so.
It's a good game, isn't it? Tarkin Lockyer to shoot for goal.
Listen, I reckon football people come to the footy, they couldn't care less about whether the score is 20 goals to 18. They want to see a tight contest. People come to the footy to see the Gladiators perform.
Lockyer kicks well and gets one back for the Pies. (8-2 to 6-8). 6 points the difference.
Hutto, it was against the trend a little, wasn't it? So very important. And as you said, Jared, the Hawks looked as if they might have been able to take it away from this contest here, where Trent Crowe got a little bit too keen maybe on his strength.
Yeah, just needed to get the first hands out, but that is just one of the best individual performances of the day, Lockie. The tackle, follow up by a good goal, brilliant.
So back to a 6-point game here. Hawthorn lead 8-2-50, 6-8-44. The Hawks have kicked 5 goals in this term. Collingwood have kicked a couple. Umpires found a free kick, may have been too many in the centre square, perhaps. And McKee will take the free kick. Decides on the hand pass. Johnston already, after coming off the bench, has had 4 or 5 possessions. Joel Smith gathers, and then with the left goes for the safety of the line and finds it. Bounces just inside the forward 50, and it will be a throw in.
The Magpies have just got to do something about Joel Smith. Whoever's on him has got to take him away from the play. He's just become such a dominant force down there, taking the ball away. That was his 11th possession for the day. Interchange there for Collingwood. Shane O'Brien also we saw having a rest. He's had plenty of it. Jonathan
Hay, big, long kick out towards the wing, but it'll come bounding back through Lockyer. Clean bowls, 2 or 3 Hawks at the half-back line. Gathered by Hay, Tarrant the chaser. Hay gets the kick away. Out towards the middle of the ground, Fraser. He'll kick the ball to within scoring distance for the Magpies. Up towards half-forward. The Crummers, Freeborn is there. Handball away. Jukovic, good little pass, knocked away from Burns. Good play, McCabe, then tackles Johnson. Well done, McCabe. Wren is there. Big man, big presence. Handball, Harford. In trouble there was Tallis. Got his kick away. A little fortunate, maybe. It'll fall for McFarlane. Handball, Crawford. Can he get away? Onto the left. Little kick, unselfish. And Dixon couldn't take the mark, but got up quickly. Ben Dixon, snapshot at goal, goes all the way to the line and bounces and eventually hits the behind post. So we'll have a boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Hawks.
Better passage of play there. Sora may go, but the Hawks, I think, look a better side, Robbo, when they don't run with the ball as much. They're more predictable, and if they get free, they give it to someone down the ground.
Siren will go unless they... Yes, it'll go now. So half-time. And it is a terrific contest, as we've said several times already. There might be a free kick going to Hawthorn.
Must have been some infringing in the ruck.
Can you believe that against Josh Fraser? Well, if Mick Moldhouse was upset at quarter time, how's he going to feel about this?
Well, at least he was consistent there, the umpire. And Mark Nash has paid a couple of those down the other end of the ground. And in the ruck contest, he was absolutely consistent.
Well, Nick Holland has already kicked 3 goals.
Pulled it.
And he's missed. Oh, well, and they all go to him and let him know all about it. And that is, well, potentially dangerous stuff. Could have really inflamed something there. But he will be feeling pretty ordinary, Nick Holland, as he goes to the break. 7 points is the margin. Collingwood fans falling about the place laughing.
As they say in footy and in golf, Robbo, every shot pleases somebody. And that may not have pleased Holland, but it pleased a couple of young Magpie supporters in the crowd.
So half-time. We'll take a break and be back shortly. 8-3 plays 6-8. MCG, Fraser stands and looks into the eyes of Sean Rand, and now they contest, although it wasn't much of a contest. Chick getting the long kick forward, a probing one too for the Hawks. Thompson playing in front, comes out and takes the mark.
Very good start. They were belted in the first half in centre clearances, Hawthorn, and I'm sure it would have rated a mention at half-time by the coach. And that's the way to do it, just get the ball down as close to the circle as possible. Then you need the running player, which was Chick. And you've just got to come forward to those quick kicks out of the centre. 80% of them would fall in that area that is known in football circles as the hole, and, well, he was spot on there, young Thompson.
Thompson trying to do what Holland couldn't do from even closer. And he's missed as well. So 2 shots at goal in about, well, 40 seconds of play at the end of and the start of half-time. Both missing for Hawthorn, and they really should have been converted. I wonder whether that will cost them dearly later on. Wakeland going short. This is Johnson. He had to handball in the end when probably would have preferred not to have to. O'Brien going long, that's a good kick. Tarrant on his own, can take the mark now. Looks up. Malloy one lead, the other one into the pocket is Jukovic. It was a strong lead, but Joel Smith, who just looks a completely different player. He's stronger and he's much more confident, making the spoil, and it's out of bounds. Nathan Buckley, I guess, has had, for him, a relatively quiet game. Just the 10 possessions so far. Freeborn camped underneath that one, takes it well. Hurried kick from Tarrant was high and pretty tough down there. Malloy, the one arm up. Good tackle from Jukovic on Joel Smith. Terrific tackle, but still the Hawks able to get away. Chick and a loose man on the wing, so this can really open up now. McCabe. Although Collingwood able to get back and limit the damage as McCabe goes looking well. I don't know who he was looking for. I think for Holland, I'm not sure, but Fraser was the only man there. Fraser taking the kick quickly and just weighted it pretty nicely. Well, not quite nicely enough, but Rintoul has the time and space to work in. O'Brien, Wakelin just measured off the little kick. Low kick, it's not a bad one, but Malloy had 3 to beat.
Brilliant play,
that's tough, and Freeborn really made it difficult for him. Lord kicking it into attack again. They just changed the direction of the kick. Loney fumbled initially. He'll go for the boundary line. Not the first time he's done that today. He's done a terrific job.
And they'll be celebrating down at the McKinnon Hotel, Robbo.
Yes, and I'm sure that his father would be a proud man. 2 sons, and both of them on the lists of the 2 competing teams, Ryan and Nathan.
And for those people viewing outside of Melbourne, Robbo, the McKinnon Hotel, where would that be?
In McKinnon.
Thank you, right.
Quite close to Collingwood, through Prestigiacomo and Lockyer, and now Buckley deep at right half forward. Nathan Buckley can go in towards half forward. It's not a bad kick. A little bit of misunderstanding there, but Reece Shaw eventually took the ball, got it away to Burns. Burns, a flying shot at goal, has gone out of bounds on the full. Well, not really. It hit the behind post on the full, so it still will be a free kick for the Hawthorn team, and it'll be taken back there by Jonathan Hay. They've got pretty good defence, haven't they, the Hawks, with Hay and Graham and Rawlings and company. Luke McCabe doing a job on one of the smaller forwards for the opposition. Short kick has been marked by Chick. Can go in towards half back. There's a player on his own. It is Graham. He goes and then kicks towards half forward. No mark to Nick Holland. Too high the tackle on Richardson, right in front of the umpire. The advantage is with the Magpies. Rintoul goes out wide. Freeborn, he can go short if he wants to do so. He does in the finish. It looked as if he was going to kick long. Malloy. Buckley screaming for it. Malloy ignores and then goes right to the front of the goal square. Taken off the ball was Rocker. Tarrant, deep in the pocket. Oh, snapshot at goal is knocked over by Rawlings for a behind.
Pretty low percentage shot at goal, wasn't it, from Tarrant? I know he nearly kicked it, but
he looked to try and centre, but then went with his left, which was close to the boundary line. The kick-in has been taken by Crode for Hawthorn.
And again, he carries the ball and using the loose man who's pushed down relentlessly. Clark, low kick into the pocket. Rock, haven't seen much of him. Spoil was okay, said the umpire. Handball from Johnson. Still, they have to work hard here, the Pies, and they ran over the ball then. Burns ran around the ball, if anything. Eventually it was hatched out. O'Brien to Lockyer. The ball just moved away at the last minute. Now the loose man's on here over the top. Reece Shaw still making space on the wing. Meantime, Steinfort got Buckley demanding it. It's in half forward. Fraser, if he just sees the peripheral vision, he gets him. Fraser will be within range. He's best just to go back and have a shot. And that's exactly what Carl Steinfort tells him. And Buckley just spotted him as he was about to head forward, and well played by the Pies.
Kicked a great goal in the first term, Josh Fraser.
Sometimes it's more difficult when you've got time to think about it, Robbo.
Too true, but his efficiency in the earlier circumstance was spot on.
7 possessions today for Josh Fraser, 5 marks, 3 hit-outs and 1 goal, as Robbo mentioned. This one right from 50. Well, he's made the distance. No, what a beautiful kick. Terrific kick from Josh Fraser, and it is a 1-point ball game at the MCG.
And all of a sudden, Robbo, those missed shots at goal, he would be just starting to haunt those in the Hawthorn coaching box.
No doubt, Jared.
Particularly when somebody goes back and bangs one in from some 45 metres out.
Well, it's a fairly low-scoring game. Only 15 goals in modern football up to half-time is low-scoring. So back at the centre, Collingwood, well, they get the first goal of the second half and get to within 1 point of the Hawks.
And it's only their second goal for the match coming from a mark.
The bounce at the centre, taken away by Joel Smith, and he kicks it high. It gets it round to the front of the goals. It's punched away by the Magpies. Gathering it quickly is Loney. Loney out towards the wing. Gets good distance, and not bad either, because it's to a one-on-one between Buckley and Chick. Chick gets to his feet quickly, kicks it off the ground. Freeborn will be tackled, and he's well tackled too by Anthony Rock, but the ball spills to Loney. He's a beautiful left foot kick, this young fellow, and he kicks it out in front of Malloy, who couldn't quite gather that awkward ball. And it goes over. There's Trent Crode, who matching up presently on Jared Malloy. Malloy has kicked a couple of goals early in the game. Hawks coach's box. Stephen Ick at the back. And, of course, Peter Schwab, the head coach. Daniel Harford, away from half-back, kicks it towards the wing. Lord is dispossessed. Well done, Scott Burns. Lockyer combines with Burns. Burns will get a kick out of all this. He looks forward. He's an experienced campaigner. He kicks into the pocket. The bounce is good. Tarrant gathers, gets back onto his left, kicks to the goal square. What'll happen here? Magpies will take a mark? No. Gee, Malloy had his eyes right on the football, not able to gather as it went over the line for a behind. Kicked by Chris Tarrant. Watch Jared Malloy here, right there. But the ball swinging away and over for one behind.
Very short kick in. Tony Woods with the mark. We talked about Collingwood having trouble scoring, converting. Oh, here's the chance for them.
Brilliant play.
Tarrant got back up. He was being treated, I think, for either cramp or something more.
He was being hidden by the medical staff, and I'm sure that the Hawthorn player couldn't pick him up. I think it was Tony Woods.
Quickly got to his feet. And Tony Woods was who took the mark from the kick in. There's the short pass, O'Brien, and he is just within range. He can.
And Josh Fraser still by himself here.
Yes, he's at across at centre half forward, but O'Brien, I think, relatively confident he can cover this distance okay. Although I'm not sure. Yes, no. Oh, Wren drops the mark on the line. Was that in the back? No. Freeborn keeps it in. Didn't have anyone to give it to, or didn't think he did. Tried to get it out to Fraser. Malloy, it's still alive. Well done, Jared Malloy. Oh, brilliant stuff. Bulldoze through. Kicked the goal. And Jared Malloy has put Collingwood up by a goal.
Well, he's back to D9.
Yep.
That was just bulldozer work at its very best.
What's the smaller version of the D9? They're a D7
I think
or something?
it's a D4.5. But
He just persisted, didn't he?
Well, Sean Wren knew it was going to come this goal. He could not believe that he dropped that mark, and he just found a hole like a rugby forward, and he went over the line for a big one.
Well, third goal for Jared Malloy gives Collingwood the ascendancy here at the MCG. They lead by 6 points. Hawthorn had a couple of chances early in the term. They went lamenting, and the Magpies have just kept at it. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to the Magpies to be taken by Fraser.
Worrying times here for Hawthorn. Just a bit of momentum starting to build for the Maggies, and they've got the run.
Good kick by Fraser too. Gets good distance. Lockyer, he'll get past, he'll kick another one. Bouncing ball, no. Gathered by Rawlings. Handball away to McCabe. McCabe goes wider still to Harford. Handball over the top. Crode has made position. Dashing through half-back. Kicks towards half-forward. Out in front is Holland. Richardson wearing him tightly. And Mark Richardson will be pretty happy with that result, forcing a boundary throw in just forward of centre wing.
Well, Nathan Buckley's playing as a forward in this quarter with Daniel Chick going with him, so it gives them the option of keeping that, I suppose, or having a refreshed Buckley to run on the ball in the last quarter. Harford, he fell over, and he's wrapped up by Steinford, and he's penalised. So as Jared said, the momentum really seems to have swung now towards Collingwood. They lead by a goal, kicked 8-10 to 8-4. And that is an indication of the fact that they've just had a lot more of the footy, particularly where it's counted up forward, but haven't been able to convert that into goals. Malloy kicked that inspirational goal earlier. Kicked 3-1 for the afternoon. Rocker makes a lead into the pocket. And instead he goes for Fraser. Long one. Buckley's down. He waits down at the front. Waits down at the front. Runs onto the left and misses. 3 behinds for Nathan Buckley. 8-11 to 8-4.
Gee, if you watched that replay for the young fellas, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Buckley just ducking away from the ruck contest, positioned himself at the front of the pack, and everything went right for him, he gathered, but he just couldn't quite convert. The kick-in has been marked by Joel Smith. Had a sensational second term, 11 kicks. Joel Smith in the second term. Goes across the half-back line. And Hay has taken the mark. He can go in turn to Woods. Woods has got Wren. He's got to stand his ground, he does. Should be paid the mark, it is. Freeborn just a little late. Josh Fraser to mind the mark. Wren maybe looking for Graham perhaps in near the middle of the ground, but decides to go longer still. Looking for Holland. Nick Holland at centre half forward. Crawford dispossessed by Steinfort. O'Brien, good selection there. Johnson running through the middle. Gets past onto the left. Goes towards full forward. No one home. Magpies all further forward. And Jonathan Hay has marked at full back. Goes towards and finds Wren. Wren over the top. Handball all right. Rawlings short to Woods. What can they mount here? Tony Woods can go short again to the middle, but decides to go directly towards centre half forward. Now Buckley, sweeping hand pass. Johnson and Malloy. Malloy just brushes off Crawford with content in towards the middle. O'Brien combining with Rintoul, kicks the ball towards the forward pocket region. Opportunity for Tarrant. Bit of a push in the back, could have nearly been deemed as there against Jonathan Hay. He's not happy with Jukovic's attention. The umpire will be quickly on the scene and demand a boundary throw in right forward pocket for Collingwood.
And all of a sudden, Robbo, as the Hawks that are breaking down across the half forward line, Nick Holland would have been frustrated there. He's on the lead, he was ignored. They kicked it long to one of their smaller players.
So the Pies pressing here in the pocket. Fraser 30 out, he got the handball through. Will it bounce for Jukovic? Just smashed it onto the boot and missed. And I guess also though, Jared, while they do have the momentum, it's crucial for Collingwood that they turn that into goals.
Well, there was another opportunity. It was just a half chance, but Jukovic did slam it on the boot. Sometimes they work for you, and other times they go through the behinds.
10 possessions for Jukovic, 1 goal, 3.
8-12 plays 8-4. McCabe with the ball in the back pocket.
Trent Crowe coming from the ground.
Harford through centre half back.
Leckis will get this, he's just taken Crowe's place.
Oh, well, he wanted to get it, he fumbled it, but he had a good supporting cast. Although the sun got in the eyes there of Mark Graham. Everything swinging towards Collingwood, although that's a poor handball. Maybe the sun was in his eyes as well. Graham will try and swing around. No, he didn't. Oh, Crawford, that's a good handball. Terrific vision. It has set up a golden opportunity, and Daniel Harford has put it through to cap off a much-needed goal.
Yeah, well, Hutto and Robbo, that sun's moving around a lot.
It is, isn't it?
It was, but wasn't, I mean, I think you're going to acclaim this as well, Jared. The difference between a young bloke playing maybe his 10th or 15th game is distinct from Shane Crawford, who now is a very experienced campaigner, to set this up for Daniel Harford.
Well, there's no accounting for experience, Robbo, but some of the experienced players from Hawthorn have been missing for this quarter at least. And at some dangerous times, they still trail on the scoreboard.
Well, back to 2 points now, the margin between these two teams. It's been pretty close all day. Collingwood in front now by that 2-point margin, 8-12 to 9-4. 9 minutes left in the third term. Fraser gets it down, but not really clear of the congestion. Wren follows up. His kick is smothered. Back to Fraser. Hand pass wide. Trying to give the chance for Lockyer. He's been run down by Crawford. Now the Hawks swoop on it. They can't quite get it clear though, can they? Gee, wasn't Tarkin Lockyer terrific? He went back in at his second and third efforts and eventually forced a turnover in favour of the Magpies. Chance for Anthony Rocker, handball Malloy, run down, confronted, and the umpire has allowed that to be all clear. Bowyer back into the middle, Malloy's in trouble. He may get his footing, shot at goal, goes all the way to the goal line and eventually tapped through for a behind, coming in from Reece Shaw. And Malloy disappointed with the umpire, and he lets him know too. Feels as though that was unfair coming from Bowyer, but the umpire gave the all clear, eventually a behind for the Magpies.
Tallis it is that leads onto the wing as the Hawks are suddenly up to the wing and almost into attack. Holland made a long lead and takes it well. Hawks only trailing by 3 points at the moment. We're midway through this third quarter, which has all been littered with mistakes made by the Hawks. Collingwood haven't really made them pay yet. Maybe they can here. Burns goes looking for Rocker. Good spoil, says the umpire from Chick. No free kick, and he stood up well and uses Sean Wren. Low pass through the middle is Jewell. Getting that sun. It's moving again. Look at Malloy. Made a great recovery. Here's Reece Shaw. Acceleration. He backed himself. Then he ran out of legs, but he got it all right to Buckley. And this is a big kick coming up for Nathan Buckley, who can kick 55 metres.
Thompson off, Trode on. Trode going to full forward. Thompson just struggling to have an impact on this match, but the sun has cost Hawthorn pretty dearly in this quarter. There's been 3 drop marks with them looking directly into the sun. Big kick this one.
Nathan Buckley with his side leading by 3 points from 55 metres, has kicked his 4th behind of the afternoon. 8 goals, 14 to 9-4 now, the margin at 4 points.
I tell you what, before the game, if you'd have known that Nathan Buckley was going to have 4 shots at goal, you would have backed him for at least a couple of goals, wouldn't you? Just no luck from his point of view today. Kick in has been marked by McCabe. He goes very short. Out towards Hay. Hay is deep in that right back pocket. Handball over the top to McCabe. McCabe goes out towards the wing. Marking contest. The ball spills to the front. Holland provides the shepherd there for Leckis. Hand pass, not too bad. And eventually finishes with Woods. Kick towards half forward, and the mark taken by Barker.
Got half at loose.
Goes with the left foot. Graham. He's come a long way down. He covers some territory, Mark Graham. He's quite prepared to force the issue as far as his opponent is concerned, and he'll have a shot at goal from about 40 metres out, directly in front. Yet to kick a goal in this game, and he'll go back and correct that immediately. He has kicked that goal, and Hawthorn's 9. Hawks lead by 2 points, 64 to 62. 6 minutes left in the third term. Clark comes back into the fray, as does McFarlane for the Hawks.
So, the Hawks in front.
Good kick by Barker. He's a natural right footer, but he weighted that kick beautifully for Mark Graham. Magpie defenders just a little late on the scene.
Peter Swab still with his problems, but he finds his team back in front. Kicked the last couple. On the other hand, Mick Malthouse's side is dominated, but they trail by 2 points. Some inaccurate kicking, costly, amongst other things. Steinfurt over the ball for a long time, got it out eventually. Another bounce to take place. Malloy's kicked 3 for Collingwood, 2 to Fraser. Singles to Jukovic, Rocker and Lockyer, with Nathan Buckley kicking 4 behinds for Hawthorn. Holland 3, Harford and Dixon 2 goals. And Crawford and Thompson, along with Graham, the single goal kickers.
Holland out of the ruck, I think there, Gerard, and McFarlane's on centre forward now.
Well, only Collingwood players going for that. Tapped on cleverly by Lockyer. Depending on where this bounce goes, could be a chance for Nathan Buckley. Doesn't go for his 5th shot at goal, or does he? Almost. Well, it almost got through for an amazing goal.
It's good shepherding by Tarrant.
You know, when you're in, they bounce to the right, don't they? And they go through for a goal. He's He's on song, but just can't. Look at this. It just looks a certainty in running, and then goes off to the left.
Pretty cruel stuff, but here's Crawford under pressure, and we'll do it again. 8-14-62 Collingwood. Hawthorn 10-4-64. Scotty Burns getting some treatment for the Pies. Been a good defender. Free kick picked out of this one. It's going Hawthorn's way. Crawford takes the advance and bombs away very wide. I think it's out on the full. It is. Shane Crawford's game today, Gerard. 11 possessions.
Well, he's just done enough. He hasn't been a star by any means, but still a long way to go in the game.
Lockyer takes it from the shore kick.
That's the sort of kick that can come back to haunt you, though.
Have a look down the ground, boys. Not one person down the centre forward for Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Everyone's up the...
All players in the Collingwood end of the ground. There is a long flying shot for goal, which is just missed from Ben Johnson. So the behind tally continues to mount for Collingwood. 8-15 now to 10-4.
How do you read that? 23 scoring shots to 14. I mean, are they
I think Collingwood have been dominant in this match. They just cannot get enough score on the board to get a winning score.
Might hurt them here on the rebound. Chick. He's got a couple of options up forward, including just going all the way himself. He had them lining up across centre-half forward. In the end, he's gone back to Bowyer. Still Barker's loose in the pocket. He should have kicked it quickly to him. Barker is still on his own. Finally, he goes longer to the square, and it still should come off for them, and it does. With Crowe going up to take the uncontested mark in the goal square.
It's a simpler way home, isn't it, really?
McFarlane.
It's a simpler way home. Kick it in the hot spot, and every backman hates that position there.
It's frustrating to look at, though, Dipper, the way the players just go round the
50-metre arc. They're just trying to cross the ball straight down the field.
McFarlane puts the Hawks further ahead. They lead by 7.
So a good reply there by the Hawks. They've had a good 5 minutes, but look at that scoreboard. And the inaccuracy of Collingwood has really kept Hawthorn alive. Their running power is under siege at the moment, Hawthorn, and the question is, Robbo, are they going to have enough legs to run this match out, or will Collingwood, if they get on song in front of the goals, will they go on and take the first 4 points?
Good question. We'll find out shortly. Well, Gerard, inaccurate kicking sometimes comes back and bites you on the backside, doesn't it? I mean, the opportunities that you get and you can't convert from it. Hawthorn go down, and they have gone down on probably only 3 or 4 occasions, and they've kicked 3 goals now after missing a couple early in the term. A real struggle for centre clearance here. O'Brien, McKee. Still the umpire allows it to go on, and McKee eventually gets his right foot to it. Bit of a misunderstanding there between the Hawks.
Well read.
But does in fact himself, didn't he, Joel Smith? And then provided a physical contest that has resulted maybe in the Hawks clearing. No.
Great
over the line was Barker.
Robbo. He was outnumbered by 1-3, and he just kept hassling and forced the ball into a neutral position.
7 points the margin, close to 3/4 time. Boundary throw in right half forward. McKee got it down, but it was Tallis that took it away for the Hawks. Kicks in towards half forward, clears the players in that area of the ground. Prestigiacomo and McFarlane. McFarlane after the ball. It comes back now to Leckers. A snapshot for goal by Leckers, and the Hawks have got another one.
McFarlane's pace that got him the goal.
Wasn't it? He and Prestigiacomo, and he went from behind to in front and forced the ball into a disputable position, eventually coming out to Leckers, who got the goal. We'll watch again.
Yeah, just have a look at the pace. This is a kid. He's up against another younger player, Prestigiacomo, more experienced. But it was just that forcing the ball forward. It was good signs there for the Hawks. McFarlane can play. There's not a lot of the footy today, but that was an important individual effort.
Well, the Hawks have again got away to that very handy lead of 13 points, and with a high tackle here to Nick Holland, I think.
In fact, it's been important, and here goes the spark. Important, Hutto, this will amount to nothing in the end, but Nick Holland, since he's gone into the ruck, it's given them a chance to rest Sean Rand, but it's freed up their forward.
There's been another report here, boys, I think.
It's just the emergency umpire, isn't it, Dipper, getting out?
No, here we go. Brian Sheen's getting the old pencil out here.
You're right, Dip.
Yeah, he has
he's
too.
certainly taken...
I know all right, mate. I've been up there 5 times myself.
yeah, well, it's Nick Holland, obviously, for being struck. Watch again here. He grabs the ball and then taken to the ground.
I think it was the player coming off the boundary line, off the square. It was Chad Rintoul. He may have been reported for charging. I think that's that'll be it, but didn't really collect him too much, but down he went.
While that's happening, while the umpires are doing all the pencil work, Tarrant is back on the ground at the expense of McKee.
Yep. And Woods is also back on the ground. Hawthorn really are concerned, I'm sure, about the heat on their players. They've rotated a number of their key midfielders off the ground or into the forward line.
He just pulled that kick at the last minute, Nick Holland, there, and allowed Tallis to find the space to take the mark. You could want to be careful here. Yeah. Tallis running off and doing the right thing. It is a very crowded 50. He spots up the little pass, but was always going to be tough. Now, Collingwood are going to have no one to kick to or they get it out of here. In fact, that's why he went so short and got them into trouble. O'Bree's handball was just too quick, and Chick takes it over the line and out of bounds.
Now that kick of Chick that went to 30 metres out from goal, where there was about 10 players, he ignored the one-on-one in the goal square. The long option has got to be the best one, you think.
Tremendous number of players around the ball again, and here's Collingwood through Lockyer. Should be able to get it away. Licuria, precision pass. Reece Shaw, no one on the overlap for him. He has to wait and surely wait and swing it back, and that's what he's doing. He's still got nowhere to go, so he has to keep it to himself and get into trouble. Had to lay it off by hand. He's dropped it. Free kick, and that was pretty painful to watch. It would be, I'm sure, for Collingwood fans. Just running the system, breaking down their line. He is all on his own out there. Mark Graham loves to get in his own. Goes for a pass instead of coming in and fire a long shot, or at least a long kick in towards full forward, and the ball is out of bounds.
Rintoul coming off, and Tyson Lane going on for the Magpies.
It's a dangerous period, this, for Collingwood at the moment. They really have dominated much of this match, but the last 5 or 6 minutes, Hawthorn have got right back on top, and they've been relatively efficient. Here's Rock. Prestigiacomo, certainly no mark to Crode. They keep it alive. Left foot snap, hits the post. Aaron Lord. So the margin now 14 points, and that one really could have been cruelty to Collingwood right on three-quarter time. Would have taken the margin out almost to 20 points. Buckley kicking in. Pies would dearly love to be able to run this one down in the last minute or so of play and be able to score a goal. But on the evidence so far, it's not all that likely. O'Bree, stretched it. Tough for Steinford, but that's okay. Licuria, again, Reece Shaw is gone, holding the ball.
Great tackle from behind there from Chick. He's had a big quarter, Daniel Chick.
Long probing kick, and a good one again. Just fell short. McFarlane, Clark, just doesn't lack pace. Handball to McFarlane, he got clear to get the boot to it. Just getting back in the last line is Simon Prestigiacomo.
They may just need that extra goal, Hutto, if they're to prevail. They've got 21 seconds, but they've had their go at Hawthorn. There's no doubt that Collingwood will have a fair dinkum crack in this last quarter. They won't have the sun in their eyes like Hawthorn this term.
Licuria, well, I think time might beat them here in this third quarter. Malloy, what a performance from him today. But while he's pushing and shoving, the siren goes. And there's a bit of feeling between these two teams. And the Hawks smiling at the moment. Mark Graham and Jared Malloy exchanging pleasantries. Bring it on, he says. Still a quarter to go. Hawthorn leading 12-5. Collingwood 8-15 at this stage.
Yes, and it was the quarter where the K9 ran into an 18-wheeler, Hutto. It takes a pretty big machine to knock Jared Malloy over, Robbo.
Most definitely. They, if they're to lose this game, Collingwood, they'll blame the inaccuracy in the third term. They kicked 2 goals, 7 in the third quarter.
Quarter time, and the Hawks are now in front. Nick Holland, Harford and Dixon, the major goal kickers for the Hawks. Malloy 3 and Fraser 2 for the Pies, who have been inaccurate. 12-5, 77 to 8-15, 63. And Gerard, you just noted that the Hawks at three-quarter time in this pretty warm day in the shade at three-quarter time.
Definitely tempting fate, I'd say, Hutto, because we all remember back to 95 when they had a 44-point lead against Brisbane. They ended up losing that match after that lead at three-quarter time, and everybody put it down to the psychological move of the one side in the shade, and well, Brisbane Lions under that circumstance. Collingwood this time out in the full sun. I just wonder if as we go down to Dipper, whether or not he thinks his old side's tempting fate. Dipper.
I'm sorry, Joe, the sign was going there. What was happening there?
Just wondering whether you think your old mob are tempting fate by resting in the shade at three-quarter time.
Yeah, look, there's one thing Bucky sort of brought him over there because it's been warm conditions here. A few of the players like Daniel Chick spent half of the second quarter on the bench, so he'll be very, very fresh here. We're just waiting for Chris Connolly to come towards us. I can tell you there's been 3 reports today. I don't know exactly who the players are. The umpires won't tell me. But I've got a feeling that Rintoul's one of them and Lord's another. And Chris Connolly joined us here. Chris, just give us an update on the 3 quarters there. Have you been happy with that?
Oh, well, it's been probably how first games go. We've been a bit fumbly, we've been a bit indirect at times. It's a little bit frustrating, but Collingwood could probably say the same thing. But it's a tough, tight contest, and there's a lot of physical work out there. You've
certainly been using the bench. You're sort of resting the boys at quarter time and during the half-time period there.
It's very important. We need maximum output, and our forwards have got to work hard up the ground because Collingwood are good at using that loose player.
Can you win this one?
Yes.
Excellent.
And a few words, Chris Connolly, and centre bounce clearances would be one concern for the Hawks. They have been well beaten in that area. Currently it's 8-14. They did finish the quarter full of running, but the way that Collingwood have played, Robbo, it's only a matter of organising that forward line better, and I think that they're going to cause Hawthorn a few troubles before this match is over.
Well, I feel the other way, Gerard. I thought that Hawthorn erred a little in that term when they were sort of going to the end, which is affected by the sun.
It is
now
again,
you can see the member stand here is encroaching in shade onto the ground, but there's probably still another 15 minutes, which I think will advantage the Hawks going to that right-hand end of screen.
Buckley's back in the middle for this last quarter.
And Wren had a good rest, so he'll be quite fresh to see this game out.
Fraser, his opponent, O'Brien couldn't take it. Lord did and was quickly wrapped up. Chick just waiting for it, but Harvard went the other way. And Bowyer it is whose kick is driven deep. No mark, and that allows Holland in. The handball, Lord had the time and the space. Kicked it Dixon one-on-one in the square. With Loney, it's still alive, and now it's not. Couple of mistakes
what
there.
What about Aaron Lord's hand pass to Angelo Lekas? It was just a threes-on chance. But he said, no sirree, I'm going to kick this goal.
Or words to that effect. 8:15 to 12:6. Early stages of the last quarter. Tarkin Lockyer going very short. Jukovic and his friend Paul Lucuria it is who's got it and goes short to Wakeland.
Man at the moment, Collingwood in their forward line, but now
it's being manned up. That's Jukovic down there. In the meantime, they're taking a long time to build something out of defence. It's Lockyer going out wide to Prestigiacomo. He goes for Buckley. It wasn't a great kick for him, but it was good enough. So Buckley with the mark. Hawks have managed to push an extra one back to not only man up that loose man, but here's Burns. Just had a metre on front of Lekas, and it was a beautifully weighted kick from Buckley.
And covered 55 metres.
But it's this next kick into attack that's the problem for Collingwood. Burns being made to go back around. There's just so many Hawthorn jumpers back there. Malloy and Tarrant and Rocker are the 3 big targets. They're all covered. Reece Shaw makes a lead.
You might as well get it in deep, Hutto. Get some pressure on the defence by putting it at the top of the goal square, and hopefully the D9 can just hustle and bustle and get a mark.
He's doing that. Wakeland also coming down to supply help in attack, but he was just outnumbered, the D9 that time. Taken away by Joel Smith. His kick not great, but in the end it was good. Woods gathering it, laying it off. Tallis tucking the ball under the arm and backing himself in, kicking it into the middle. Was that interference? It was against Lucuria. Going to Holland. So the Hawks leading here, 78 to 63. Early stages of the last quarter.
They've got Trent Crode up against Prestigiacomo. He's got a clear pace advantage if they get the ball to him 1 out.
Well, a high ball by Nick Holland. Prestigiacomo gathers from the O'Brien hand pass out wide. Lane gathers in front of Dixon. Lane, no one to kick to. He's going to cough it up.
He had Buckley inboard. Obviously, he couldn't see him.
Wren kicks back towards where Tyson Lane had kicked the ball, and he's found Leckus.
Chick.
Leckus kicks in towards half forward, and he's got it, Daniel Chick, from behind Johnson. Good effort. He had a little bit of space at which to have a run at that. You can see here up over the top. Got first grasp at it and controlled the mark. He's 50 metres from goal. Gee, this is an important kick. If he kicks accurately here, 15 points. He goes short anyway and has found Tallis. Not that much closer and a worse angle. 15 points could become 21, which in a fairly low-scoring game would be difficult for the Magpies to peg back. Now he kicks it out on the full.
I reckon Chick marked the ball inside 50 and he kicked it to a bloke who marked it outside 50 and was in a worse angle. So explain that one to me.
Very risky here. Harford on Fraser has given away a free kick. Fortunately for the Magpies, Josh Fraser in the left back pocket. Goes short. Burns. He in turn. Quite short. Buckley still behind the wing. Regaining possession. Beautiful kick in towards the middle. Taken by Jukovic, who's been quite serviceable. Has kicked a goal. That kick is very ordinary. And Tallis controlled it well. As Mark kicks it out wide. Mark taken out there by Leckus, who after coming off the bench has had some sort of an impact. 7 possessions, but more importantly kicked a goal. In short as Wren. Goes to run past Johnson. Gives away a little bit of meterage. Back to Dixon. Dixon into the pocket. Kick weighted beautifully. A mark taken by Crode.
That's what you're talking about, Jared.
50 metres from goal is Trent Crode.
It's just not going to be able to cover his pace if the kick is out in front.
Chick provides the lead, and the important gain there was about 13 metres, because now Daniel Chick would feel comfortable, whereas a few moments ago when he kicked the ball wider still for Tallis, maybe he doubted his ability to kick the ball in excess of 50 metres. Here he will have to kick it about 45 to score.
It's Buckley's man too.
Again, reasonable stats for Daniel Chick, joint best and fairest winner at the Hawks last year. Kicks and kicks truly. It's a goal to Hawthorn. Daniel Chick kicks his first goal. The margin out to 21 points in favour of Hawthorn.
Well, you look at that kick and it travelled through post height. You just wonder, Hutto, why he didn't have a crack at it last time when really just gave away a golden opportunity with an errant kick out to the boundary line. This time he bangs it away, covers the distance pretty comfortably. And it's an important goal to the Hawks early in the last quarter.
So how will Collingwood respond to that? Daniel Chick kicking Hawthorn's 13th goal. Josh Fraser in ruck, post to Sean Wren. Still fairly early stages in this last quarter, but they have to get moving. Buckley well wrapped up by Chick, who just kicked that last goal. And now Harford frees it up. Bowyer, pretty clever. As long as Crawwell, he couldn't handle it cleanly, so maybe it wasn't so clever. Well, he couldn't get the handball off then, Scotland.
It was a good second effort by the captain, though.
It was an excellent tackling performance from Crawford, but
as Chris Connolly said, just a little bit unhappy about the unsure of the way the boys are using their hands, and that's one example.
Anthony Rock hasn't seen too much action this afternoon, just the one kick.
Probably prefers a softer track, Anthony Rock. Pretty well lightning this one.
13-6 plays, 8:15. Last quarter, Wren has had an impact today. Tallis got better as the day goes on. Wasn't a great kick. Burns going back with it. He certainly committed himself. Was that a free off the play? It was. Lucuria. It's a bit silly. I think it was certainly dramatised somewhat by Aaron Lord.
Graham's found some spot out here if he gets by himself. Mark Graham on the wing out here.
So Lord with the ball. And Collingwood with plenty of thinking to do. Hawks kicking those goals in the third quarter, which was somewhat against the trend of play, but have really captured it since. High kick. And it was a pretty good spoil in the end. Scotland got through to get the handball clear. Good hands again. They work it through the defence. Burns, Buckley, just couldn't get clear. Now he's clear, and he uses the ball so well. This time, Tarrant it was waiting to stop, had nowhere to go. He poked it looking for Lane. He got him. He didn't take the mark. Well, he had to take the mark because it was all Hawthorn around him. And that will be costly for the Pies, particularly if the Hawks can take it the full length. Harford trying to do that, doesn't kick well. Made it really tough. But I tell you what, he did a pretty good job there, trying to get the clean kick away. Unfortunately, though, it was out on the full.
84 plays 63. We've got 13 minutes left in the game. Free kick to be taken by Wakeland between left half back and left centre wing. Magpies have got to get a goal quickly, and they've got to get it with some sort of fluency because they really have struggled. Watch this. Lockyer back to Scotland. Scotland to no one. Back went Graham. Gathered the ball and then kicked wide.
It's
all Magpies. Well. Josh Fraser, but look at the awkward bouncing ball. It favoured Crawford, who was fifth in line for possession as the ball went through the air. And Crawford, playing the percentages, has kicked it from mid-air forward about 45 metres and forced a boundary throw in. McKee with some problems, obviously. Blood rule. Medical staff trying to patch him up. Reece Shaw, Chad Rintoul, fellow members of the interchange bench for the Magpies. Fraser squeezes a kick down towards the forward pocket area. Well done, Bowyer. Running with the flight of the ball. He had no idea who was there, and he did well. Eventually across the full back line. Hay, misunderstanding here. If they get a goal, this will be terrible for the Hawks. McCabe goes in and kicks it out on the full.
Just a couple of Hawks players look like they're holding on. They're just waiting for the siren rather than still trying to win this match.
Malloy goes short.
You only need 2 or 3.
Had the shot at goal. Johnson goes short. Marcus taken by McCabe. Go, Jared.
Only need 2 or 3 just to put the head down and think they've done enough, and all of a sudden you can kick 4 or 5 goals against in a 5-minute period. Game certainly not over.
Richardson is infringed against Holland. It was very untidy, Mark. Quite untidy. I thought the effort to spoil the attempted mark by Nick Holland was all right. Holland gets it away to Chick. Chick towards the full forward area. Well done. Marcus taken by Steinford.
That was a great grab from Steinford under pressure in defence. Lockyer. I think both sides near on exhausted at the moment. It's those that can really dig deep in this last quarter that can have an impact. Burns ran his measure. Again, it's 2-on-1 and tough down there for Tarrant. They've got to do something about that. Not sure what they can do. Malloy late on the scene. He put him under pressure, and it's a free kick back off the ball to Tarrant against Glenn Bowyer. Well, what Collingwood need now is a lift. They need Tarrant to go back and either hit someone on the chest or bomb this through for a goal. They need something that's going to give them the spark if they're to get back in this game.
Woods came off the ground and replaced by Tim Clark.
The margin stands at 21 points. There's a blood rule, I think, with Jukovic, who's been ordered off to the nearest outlet, the nearest way to get off the ground.
No one ready for the Maggies to take his place.
Rintoul looks like he'll come on.
But Chris Tarrant is a beautiful kick of the football. He's on these. He's in his favoured, if there's such a thing, favoured side of the ground.
It was about this spot that Peter Dacos kicked that goal in the 1990 grand final that we talked about at half-time, Hutto. So it can be done. Chris Tarrant has the obvious advantage of going to shoot with his preferred foot being the left. So the goal place will open up. Let's see if he can bomb one.
Well, it was a good effort. It was a great effort, and he has given them a huge lift. What a kick from Chris Tarrant. It just covered the distance. It only just got there, but that gives them hope.
Well, if you're the captain of the Hawks or the senior players, you'd be looking a few blokes in the eye and giving them a fair bit, feeding them verbally, just to let them know that this game is up for grabs. It was a pretty dumb move there by Glenn Bowyer to give Tarrant the free kick. And they are certainly under the pump at the moment.
Free ball. Advantage there by the Hawks, but away goes Scotland out wide.
They're running the
Steinford. Burns in trouble. I think it might be Crawford back in the middle of the ground. No mark for Tarrant. Hay was there for the Hawks.
Just been on the borderline a couple of times, Jonathan Hay, in giving away free kicks to the leading player.
It was Harford actually that was heavily knocked by Johnson back in the middle of the ground.
Good bump.
So they're inside 50, Collingwood, and applying the pressure.
Ren's been so important at these ruck contests.
Well, that time, whether he touched it or Rocker, he still got it to the man. Tallis couldn't break the Buckley tackle, which was magnificent, but the support was from Harford. It's out of bounds again. You just wonder whether Nathan Buckley, who's kicked 4 behinds in this game, has still got a part to play in the eventual outcome. Him and Chick going for it there. Play restarted with a throw in. Wren took it away. Handball out in front of Clark, who can use his pace and run with it. He just popped it onto the boot just very delicately to try and get it to his man further afield, which he did do successfully. Long kick from Lekas up to full forward. Their one-on-one contest down there. Crowe couldn't take it. Loney waited down and did pretty well. Prestigiacomo had to measure the kick to Scotland. Crawford right there with him, and he just brushed him aside. Well done by Scotland, and he got the releasing handball so the Pies can run it out of the fence. Fraser providing the option through the middle of the ground. 9:15 plays 13-6. This is young Josh Fraser. Kicks it up looking for Burns. Tough one for him against Joel Smith. Didn't take the mark, and he was outnumbered. Harford takes it away, and now the Hawks can go off half-back.
Bowyer from, you can see the defensive 50-metre line there, and as Bowyer kicks it out wide, Wren and Fraser both looking quite wary, but Wren gets a magnificent hand pass out into the path of young Clark. He's pressured there by Loney, and eventually takes it over for a boundary throw-in right on centre wing. So the game very much up for grabs. Hawks have the advantage by 15 points. Terrific crowd, over 50,000 here at the MCG. We've already mentioned that you couldn't really get better conditions for footy, although it may be just a little too warm. Fraser to Johnson. Johnson on his preferred left side, looking to kick the ball to the advantage of one of his teammates, and then coughs it up.
Well, he was looking for Anthony Rocker, who's had a pretty quiet day, and
this boy's played all right. Bowyer, 17 possessions.
Buckley on the mark, and Chick has run down the ground, and he is on his own.
Good spotting. Lockyer, 1-on-3 there. The crumbs are very well gathered by Lekas. Tries to get past Johnson.
Well,
Johnson does very well. Freeborn, Steinford, then Tarkin Lockyer. The kick is not quite spot on for Malloy, and Graham did very well. Harford provides the shepherd. Graham kicks the ball, and he in turn has nearly coughed it up. Backed himself here, Rintoul. The bouncing ball was a little awkward. Got it to Burns, back to Rintoul. Rintoul into the pocket. And the mark is taken by Buckley very wide. He's about 80 metres from goal. Goes in short. Rocket just can't get hold of it. Well done, Rawlings. Shares it with Harford. Harford to McCabe, and the Hawks are away.
They are, and through centre half-back, Daniel Chick. He's got some run. He's got some support from Tallis coming up from the last line. Another low pass. Here's Rock, who, as we said, hasn't seen much action today. Got that one away, though, to half-forward. McFarlane outnumbered there, the Hawks, with Crowe, and it was Steinford that came over the top.
And Thompson about to come on, boys. He's been on the bench there for a while, and Rocker, as you mentioned there, Anthony, he's just come on the ground.
Well, I wonder about Anthony Rocker. For Collingwood, he certainly has had a dirty day. He's kicked 1-1, but only had 6 possessions. Whether he will be taken off, or whether he might even pop up and maybe score a late goal, who knows? Fraser kicks the ball onto the wing. Oh, the sun was in the eyes again. Crucial fumble, but he gathered a free ball, had no one to go to. Still got nowhere to go, so he has to go for the pass. Here it is. Tarrant at full stretch. Takes the ball. He's got a loose man. He thought about passing it. It was Reece Shaw. He would have had to act straight away. And we've already mentioned today, Jared, that he just doesn't get rid of the ball quickly. That's a little high kick. I'm not sure if his man's in a much better position than Glenn Freeborn here.
Well, I tell you what, if they get a goal, it will come as a result of this player's just absolute persistence in holding onto the ball before he can kick it to the advantage of Chris Tarrant. And in turn, Tarrant has kicked it back to Freeborn, who has the shot at goal, certainly within range, difficult angle.
I've got to say that the Magpies have handled the problem of the sun far better than Hawthorn. It's another disposal given up and another shot at goal for Collingwood, because the Hawks have just not been able to cope with the sun in their eyes.
Been a goal kicker in a premiership side too, Glenn Freeborn.
Well, he turned it, didn't he, with 3 goals in that second quarter. I'm sure he'd like to have an impact to be remembered for other things as well in his career. This is a crucial kick for him. It is a very tough angle. And they need a goal. And he's done it for them. He has squeezed it through. What precision from Glenn Freeborn. Collingwood are right back in this match. 13-6-84 to 10-15-75. Just under 7 minutes of actual playing time ahead, Robbo.
How do you see the fitness level of both sides? Obviously important, but is there anything that you could see in the body language at the moment?
Well, I thought since just before three-quarter time that Collingwood were always going to finish on. They needed a 20-point buffer. They've got it. Hawthorn, whether or not it's enough, who knows. That 20-point buffer was always going to be important, wasn't it, Hutto, at three-quarter time? They just didn't quite get there, the Hawks. And all of a sudden now the running capacity. They've got a better side for the run at the end of the day, Collingwood. Whether or not it's going to get them across the line, only the next 5 minutes will tell.
Well, the Hawks have got the younger Nathan Thompson back onto the ground in the ruck. Chick takes the ball away, decides on one bounce to settle and then kick forward in towards the right half forward area. Knocked away there from Holland by Mark Richardson for a boundary throw in. 9 points the margin in favour of the Hawks.
One bloke that can run through the middle and hasn't done anywhere near the work load that he could perhaps do is Trent Crode, and he could just go into that middle and give him that extra runner, even as a ruckman.
Well, you need the young legs, I guess. And there's the old legs of Anthony Rock. Back to Joel Smith.
Get onto that. Kicks
it high in the air. Contest at right half forward for Hawthorn. Well done there. He's a desperado, isn't he, young Johnson?
He certainly is.
Has a bit of a dip on every occasion. Gathered by Smith. Now, this might suit the Magpies. If the Hawks don't mark it, which they have,
Nick Holland
the other way. Gone the other way, has it, Jared? Well, it certainly was on. You take the risk to kick the ball to the middle of the ground.
Collingwood coming off, sorry, Robbo. Lockier's coming off before he just grabbed his knee. Keep an eye on it.
Anthony Rock is already off the ground.
That was a free kick to McKee. He goes to O'Brien. O'Brien, is there misunderstanding
here? Play.
Punched away beautifully by Mark Graham. He was 2-on-1. He got past Malloy to provide the contest with O'Brien. O'Brien beckoning to Malloy that there was obviously a misunderstanding there between the two Collingwood players.
So the ball is about 80 metres around. Look at McKee. You'd think he was going for a mark. Kicked it forward, though. Numbers with Hawthorn down there. Tough for Freeborn. Can they win the ball? McKay kicked it backwards. Still it's a hot one. Graham, he had the loose man out wide. And Chick's on the overlap. Rawlings will kick to him in an absolute mountain of space. What will Daniel Chick do? A big build-up here. Will he go all the way? No, he goes for the pass. It was a poor one. It was a poor one. Loney made the spoil, and it is out of bounds.
To the square, maybe he should have just straightened up and put him under pressure.
You got a one-on-one in the square. You bomb it into the square, or you pass it with as much accuracy as you can to Trent Crode and back him home.
Almost to the last 5 minutes of this match. Saturday afternoon at the footy at the MCG, and it is a great contest first up. Loney doing the ruck work against Barker, who got the tap down. Rintoul, none of them can handle it. Rock all fumbling. Rintoul goes again, and Clark, and it's out of bounds.
It's amazing when you do get a little weary, the skill level drops away, and accordingly the team that leads. I agree with you.
You play the percentage.
Put the pressure right on the goal front, most definitely. But you can see now that they're just creeping in, aren't they? The handballing errors.
Richardson over the top, knocked it on, but there's more Hawthorn numbers there than Collingwood numbers. The tackling, no, relentless. Crawford had the time, though, to get clear. Joel Smith went searching, probing, looking for Crode, and gets it. Just pushed on nicely. Thought about playing on.
Cool head required.
Tough kick coming up for Trent Crode. Sure, that was in the back of the mind when he thought he might play on. Now he runs around, he just poked it. Well, what was he doing there? He's kicked it out on the full.
Well, he was in two minds right from the minute he took the mark.
Yep.
And he didn't settle enough to make a decision one way or the other.
Hasn't had a great day, Trent Crode. He just had to go back and have a purposeful shot.
Well, short kick by Wakeland has released Loney. Loney now goes long and wide. Up a little early was Harpin, and in doing so has taken the run or the opportunity to at least have a go at the mark away from Prestigiacomo. The umpire has awarded the free kick to the latter.
They can get the next goal, Collingwood. They be absolute favourites to steamroll them.
Prestigiacomo goes out wide. Gee, they go to Buckley, don't they, in the desperate circumstances. Buckley, he's too far from goal.
Well, he can see on 50 there's about 4 Hawthorn players to 1 Collingwood, so he doesn't know what to do here.
How about Reece Shaw, maybe? He's a chance here to get a possession. He goes instead back to Prestigiacomo.
Raises the man.
Oh, short kick. Not on. Pump it to the square and put the pressure on. Decides to go for the handball. O'Brien, who's he got? Goes back with the hand pass to Prestigiacomo. He's had 4 possessions. The Simon Prestigiacomo to the goal front. Chance now for the Magpies right in front of goal. Gathered by Freeborn. Handball away. Reece Shaw. Snapshot at goal by Shaw is across the face, and it is out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Hawks.
After refusing to kick it long to a contest for 5 minutes, what did they do in the end? They kicked it long to a contest. Amazing stuff. Down to the last 3.5 minutes. The Hawks in front must be favoured just with the time situation starting to elapse. Dixon gets it to Holland, but they want to keep playing positively because it's certainly time enough for Collingwood to get back. 10-15 plays 13-6. Up to centre half forward. Tick didn't try and mark it. Not sure about that decision making. Here's Burns. The loose men are on the overlap. Collingwood heading forward. Nathan Buckley onto his left, onto his right, back onto his left, and he spots up Tarrant. Great kick! Great kick from Nathan Buckley. And the decision by Daniel Tick to go for the punch. An interesting one, particularly if Chris Tarrant kicks accurately here.
I thought it was a good decision by Chick, because he's going to take the mark, or he's just going to get tackled straight away, but it didn't work out for him there.
Tell you what, Dipper, if you take the mark, it doesn't matter if you get tackled.
What about the kick from Buckley? Off the unnatural left. He just spotted from 45 metres Chris Tarrant.
You'd back him home here on this one.
Big moment for Chris Tarrant. It swings across. It has gone through again. What a finish. What a finish coming up at the MCG. Just over 2 minutes remaining, and Hawthorn lead by 3 points.
Well, Jared, you've got the scenario that you were looking for. You're tipping that Collingwood will finish over the top.
Well, I thought that right from three-quarter time, I thought they had the legs. You get a few doubts when the Hawks kicked a couple of goals at the start of the quarter, but then they've had a couple of opportunities and they've blown it. If they lose this match, they can blame themselves.
Oh, wouldn't you love to be in the coach's box, eh? Your team looked as though they were in control of the game, leading by 15 points just a few minutes ago, but 2 quick goals, and all of a sudden there's only a kick in it. Well done by Harford to clear the centre. Barker, can he get past Wakeland? Gives the hand pass away, back to Rock. Experienced campaigner, Anthony Rock, kicks to the front of the goals. Gathered here, chance down for Clark, but they found a free kick and it's going to the Magpies. Now, it will be called play on. Loney it was that cleared the full back line. Collingwood have possession, which is very important. Oh, well done by Joel Smith. Just made ground and then kicked the ball in towards full forward, and that'll be the ball game, you would think. Joel Smith's gathered away from Scotty Burns and then got the ball to Crowe. Magnificent solo performance by Smith.
If any player wants to question the value and the virtue of committing yourself 100% heart, body and soul to a pre-season campaign for the future of your career, just have a look at that last performance from Joel Smith. He wouldn't have got there in any other year of his career, but he's so committed now. He's a new player. The Hawks have unearthed one of the best halfback flanks in the competition. We say that just on the basis of 5 games that we've seen, he's a new player, and it may well, that individual effort, have won them the game.
Well, Crowe going for goal. He's kicked across the face. Is it a mark? It may be a mark to Collingwood. No, it's a score behind of the Hawks.
51 seconds, Robbo. Still plenty of time.
Well, they have possession of the ball. If it all works perfectly, they can score a goal and win the match.
Interesting that Buckley decided to kick in rather than be up the ground and try and score the goal. I'm sure he's going to try and do both. Here they go, getting into trouble first, but they've got possession. Have they got time? Wakeland just had to kick it. He went to the boundary line. Extraordinary decision out on the full. Extraordinary decision in the last
nowhere
minute.
else. In the middle, it was all Hawthorn.
Well,
they were about 8-1.
They're not going to win the game kicking the ball to the boundary line.
Yeah, but to be fair to him, you're not going to win it bombing the ball 60 metres straight to 4 Hawthorn.
Well, it's all gone now. It's all gone now. Last 30 seconds of the game, and they will just hold on to the ball until they're all manned up one-on-one. And surely the teams have learnt that. Just get a man each. This stage, alas for Collingwood, it's too late. Unless there's a really bad turnover here.
Otherwise, they've got to have more power here to get the ball moving.
A high one from Bowyer. Collingwood need a mark. They're not going to get one.
Big last quarter from Holland.
He's got the mark, and he's pretended, or he has done it. It doesn't really matter. They've got the match. Hawthorn have prevailed. Well, credit must go to the Hawks. Standing up to win the game. And now this is a repeat of last year. Remember this, the man came onto the ground and stopped the ball after the siren. This time Nick Holland's kick doesn't go that far. What a performance by both teams. A fantastic contest. And the Hawks prevailing by 4 points, 13-7-85 to 11-15-81. Big Dipper's down there on the ground. He'll get someone for us shortly. But the Hawks, and here he is with...
Here we go, boys. I got Joel Smith and Sean Brendan. Firstly, Joel, fantastic effort by the Hawks, but your own effort today, terrific.
Yeah, it was a good game by us today. First game of the year, it's always tough. You don't know what to expect from the opposition. It's hard to get a guide on pre-season form, but Collingwood come out really well today, and could have went either way in the end.
You did come back on a long road, but the last couple of minutes, mate, where you just snuck in and kicked that long ball.
Oh, it was a bit of luck more than anything.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Ed.
Going on me, boys.
Thanks, Dipper. Nathan Buckley kicked 4 behinds today, but he really tried, didn't he? You can see his leadership in that last quarter, Nathan Buckley.
You know, Jared, you were talking about Joel Smith. I mean, for the interest of any person who has a serious injury, he's a great example, isn't he? I mean, he's just put his head down and his backside up and pushed himself very, very hard to make himself of some value to the Hawks.
Well, his career was a threat at the start of this year, Robbo. There's no doubt about that. The injuries in the past, that was 5 years ago. He's had other problems that he's overcome, and let's hope that he prevails in the way he played today.
The Hawks have won here, 13-7-85 to 11-15.